You are now listening to Feeding Off Each Other.
Welcome, 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 welcome back to Feeding Off Each Other, the weekly podcast where we feed off the talent, humor, knowledge, and awesome stories from ourselves and each other.
Perfect.
I'm Matt Dennison, joined as always by David Swift Response Wiggins.
Another one.
And to my left, joined by Jason, took a month to respond to our wedding, RSVP Lucas.
That's not even that long. You said you have until April of next year to respond.
Which is crazy that you get that long to respond.
Yeah, so I'm early.
Hey, come on. I responded immediately to yours.
Would you
Well,
say
I'm
it
all
was
tangled. What the
would you
hell's
say
going
it
on?
was a Taylor Swift response by me?
I'm a man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dave,
Yeah,
you were the
I-
very first person.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
I guess Dave
Thank you.
Dave comes fast.
Now, Jason, just take me through the take me through the POV. Okay, you see the email come up, you look at the email. What happens there?
Not for me.
No, yeah. I go, oh, I probably should talk to Lauren about this and make sure. Because you got an RSVP for both of you. And then we're just...
Like,
we
make
barely-
sure she still likes me.
Well,
That Lauren is who again for the audience out there? The Chuthers.
my better half. Yeah.
The bottom half.
The bottom. Sometimes the top. And yeah, I just didn't... Yeah, we dropped the ball. Just didn't RSVP that afternoon. And then I saw April 15th and I was like, oh, we got plenty of time. Plenty.
Now, I hear what you're saying, but don't you just auto go like it's over a year from now? Like, of course you're gonna go.
Yeah, of course.
Like, in what way would it be a no?
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, like what's Lauren gonna say to be like, like, wait, who? Which one? Which Matt again? Oh, is that like the guy
Ooh, I have a
that you've been
hair-
making videos with?
I have a
50
hair
years?
appointment that
And
day.
where is it? I don't know.
Wait, who is the other dude? Oh, Brooke. Is that a girl? is that a?
No,
not
it's
sure if
Brock.
I'm not sure if I'm into that kind of a wedding. Okay, well, are you just breaking the tension with an awkward fart?
So I always do it.
Well, so I had to remind you yesterday because Brooke was like, Jason didn't respond. And I was like, surely it's a mistake. Surely he just forgot about it.
That's it.
So I reminded you yesterday.
Yeah,
And now I'm curious because you RSVP and then the questions are like, what's a song that would get you on the dance floor? We talked about this. I feel like we brought it up in the pod before.
Yeah, it's a classic one.
Yeah, I didn't know this until I received your RSVP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've had that for
Which
every
I was-
wedding, which I didn't know until I received for every wedding that I've been to.
I've been to like one wedding in my life and I was 6 years old.
And it was an Amish wedding, so you couldn't even request music.
But except for the Weird Al song.
yeah. Amish Paradise is
Amish
the only
Paradise
option.
is on loop.
I feel like they still listen to music. They just play instruments.
That's true.
Yeah, it's probably pretty sick, actually.
But it's probably harder because like then they have to like learn it or you know.
Like Beethoven's symphony.
And then if it's an electric guitar song, they're like can't do it.
Fire, bruh.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix
Well, like-
is off the table.
They can do an acoustic version of anything, I guess. So I didn't look at. I actually haven't looked at the like invitation list or anything like that or any of the details. But I'm just curious, what's the song you dropped on there?
I think I put Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Original.
What?
Yeah. What do you mean? It's a great song.
I didn't know. I didn't realize it was.
I feel like that's an automatic.
that
It's
is
like a banger wedding song.
Yeah, I mean, actually, last time I heard that was at a karaoke
Exactly.
party.
Because
and,
everyone seems to know the words.
They call it Millennial Stairway to Heaven.
Really?
hmm
Oh wow, it's that big. Eh?
It's like the definitive like song of our sort of age group that everyone will get hyped for.
Interesting.
Wait, Dave, what did you put?
My go-to is usually Torn by Natalie Imbruglia.
That's a great song, but
Well, one time I woke. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a different song. But we woke up in our bedroom, Brooke and I, to kids singing this outside our window, like a row of like 15 kids on a field trip, just walking down the street, all singing it full blast. It's the right song, right? Is this correct? Can you
Torn?
confirm? Torn?
No,
Oh
no.
fuck! Oh, it's unwritten. Damn it.
Oh. It's like Torn would be a really...
Wait, what's torn? How does that go? Hum it.
It's like I thought I saw a man come to life.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Matt, your hair is a bit wild coming out of the front of your hat, and I feel like it's gonna bother you if I don't tell you about it. Like I feel like you're gonna look at the thumbnail or whatever. Of
People don't
this and-
forget.
All right.
But I mean, I could change it up. Oh, but I have to take them off my headphones, get out of the zone.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
It's up to you. I was trying to do you a solid.
you?
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. So why are we here? What brings us here today? Where am I? I didn't RSVP to this.
Yeah. What song should we play? What song will get you on the podcast?
We're talking. You're just back from a trip, a big old trip.
Ah, yeah, it's Burning Man 2.0. We did go. Now, last time we did a Burning Man podcast. We talked for 17 hours. I told the same story 3 times, and the comments were this podcast sounded like Matt was describing his dream, which is one of my pet peeves. I can't stand listening to people's dreams. Sorry, Brooke. Every morning. But I'm also self-aware. I'm a self-aware wolf. When I tell people about my dreams, I realize they don't care.
I've stopped doing it. I censor myself. Anytime I think to do it, I'm like, this isn't interesting.
I noticed.
That's why I have nothing to say in the mornings anymore. So I don't want to ramble for another 3 days about our Burning Man experience, but
Just keep it a tight 45.
we got stories because every day Brooke and I wrote notes. We knew that we were probably going to come up with some stories, so we wrote notes, and the notes are 17 pages long. So we used ChatGPT to whittle it down. I haven't read any note. Going in raw, fellas. Going in raw.
So it's just like a bullet point experience.
Yeah, so going down the list, Brooke's $50 bike, Dale's gift bike, 2 dead raccoons, Matt's 5-hour energy, Fireball purchase.
No.
I thought this is how we're gonna do it. Oh, we're not just gonna read the bullet points?
And that's the episode.
No, that was the teaser.
Teased.
It's kind of like Brooke thinks those were spoilers, but it's like when you watch a trailer for a movie, but you haven't seen the movie, so all the images happening really fast don't mean anything. But then when you see the movie and you watch the trailer, you're like, literally they show everything,
Yeah,
but you don't
yeah.
have the context yet.
Yeah, I've spoiled everything at this point already. 2 dead raccoons.
I'm most excited about the Fireball.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna get sick of my own voice during this. You guys gotta chime in. You guys gotta ask me questions. If you got something to add, okay?
Okay.
I know it takes you time to respond to things, Jason, but I mean, if you could just jump in there.
I'll think about it.
Well, he's got to ask Lauren first.
I gotta ask
He's
the better
texting,
half.
can I ask Matt?
What do you think about raccoons?
We like raccoons.
All right. Well, okay. So, I mean, you guys didn't know we were going to Burning Man.
No.
Wait, until like 2 days before we left.
Until you
because
told us, yeah.
We didn't know about that until very soon before we left. Basically, we went last year, right? And we went with the camp. We joined 40 other people, and they had an art car, crazy art project. It's a whole mission. And then in January, the leader of the camp said, "Oh, you guys, it's the point now where the Burning Man, they put tickets on for sale. So let me know if you can bank tickets, or you're coming, or you're just not coming at all. Because previously tickets have been really hard to buy for Burning Man, like really hard. Like I think people for years would try to seek these tickets. So immediately I was like, I'll be a team player, and I'll bank 2 tickets. So immediately I just bought a couple tickets, and long story short, Burning Man was having trouble selling their tickets this year. It was the exact opposite. There was a surplus of tickets. They were doing everything they could to market new tickets.
Was it because of the flood last year, or are people just poor now?
I mean, the easy answer is it was the flood last year that made it seem really unappealing. And then people would also say, oh, and before that, it was the heat wave.
Well, it's in the desert, so yeah.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
And then maybe there's a bit of an economic recession or something like that. People don't want to spend money. I don't know. I feel like probably that has something to do with it. But also, I mean, everything's got to have like ups and downs, ebbs and flows. I mean, naturally.
I think Coachella had that issue this year too. It was like one of the smallest turnouts for audience.
Is it possible they release more tickets this year too?
I don't think so. I don't know. So anyways, we had these tickets, and then, with no intention of going, and we were just going to flip them, I guess. Like I had no intention to like scalp them and like make a profit off them, but couldn't even do that. Couldn't even sell them for.
You almost did.
Couldn't even break even. Almost did.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You almost sold your ticket.
Well, we sold 1 ticket.
The plan was to give it to the camp. We didn't even want to sell them.
Yeah, I
So
thought
we
it was
can-
gonna be like
Right.
I thought it was gonna be like the camp was gonna say, oh yeah, we'll scoop those up right away, but no, it was not the case. It was like I just like never heard from them basically. Yeah, and so
I'm talking about your almost
what?
sale outside of.
oh yeah, okay. So that story, real quick, was I posted the tickets for face value, but I put it as I didn't specify a USD. That didn't cross my mind. Each ticket's $575 USD.
Which for non-North Americaners, USD is what, 30% more than our dollar?
In that range,
Like
yeah.
35% more?
Yeah, it'd probably been like 700
Yeah.
something dollars Canadian.
Yeah.
So someone did show up. A woman showed up. Did you say? Okay, bleep that. Bleep this.
I
Bleep
know
that.
I was going to, and then you said it again. So
I didn't say where it was near. I just
Sorry.
stop.
Bleep that.
Dave's editing this episode.
said absolutely not.
Okay. Anyways, the woman shows up, and I text her like minutes before she shows up. Oh, hey, by the way, I didn't specify. That was USD. Anyways, she was fucking choked. She was pissed. She wasn't happy. I was hiding in the bleep, looking outside the window because I could see her pull up, and I was like, "Oh boy, she's gonna be freaking furious at me." And she was. She was furious.
Really?
Texting. Yeah, and I could see her on the phone in her car, like calling her, who knows what, her boyfriend or whatever. Like, I can't believe this. He said that. So da 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 da. And she drove away. And she was like, I hope you sell the tickets. Like very like in a insincere way. And maybe she cursed me because then I couldn't sell a ticket. I did sell one ticket for face value, but then there was another ticket that we just couldn't sell. But in addition to that, we had the vehicle pass, which is another $150 US. So basically I had $2,000 that like I couldn't recoup. And so we were like all over Facebook and Craigslist trying to resell a ticket. And we would have had to take a big loss. And then as we got closer to Burning Man dates, we're just like, should we just go? Should we just do it so we don't take the L? And I just really don't want to take the L.
Yeah.
But it seems like such a big commitment because then you're also spending more money to get down there and all that. But I think the biggest thing that changed our mind was last year when we showed up, we drove through to our camp, and on the right, there's open walk-in camping, which is just this like open desert with a beautiful mountain landscape in the back. And there's like, it's so big, this section of land where you can camp. Yet there's only like 30 tents or something. It seemed very underrated. And so I kind of always had my mind on it, or like my eye on it, seeing like, how do people do out there? Are they bringing their own food? They got their own water out there? It's just like really simple setup. So it was intriguing for us to just kind of approach Burning Man like we were camping in BC, basically. So
Bleep that.
don't dox us. Yeah. So yeah, we just decided, screw it, let's just go. And and then we just basically packed as quick as we could for 2 days. Made our way down there and drove 3 days down. Spent 5-6 days there, and then drove up the Oregon coast. And 3-day drive back home, and we were gone for, I don't know, a week and a half. And it was great. There was no, compared to last year, there was no like hiccups, no rain. The weather was perfect every day. It was super hot, but in general, it was like a success. And people ask like, so what year did you have more fun?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a matter of which year was more fun. I think it was just, we had equal fun, different kinds of fun, but this year was just way less work because all we had to do was like set up our tent, and then whatever, there's like little day-to-day tasks that we have to do to just like keep up our camp. But yeah, I'd probably take our own independent way over the group camp way.
Sounds way
You
better.
told us to ask questions. That was like my first question, but I'm glad you asked yourself.
Sorry.
And people asked me, Matthew.
I saw you taking a breath. Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound nicer. Less work.
Yeah. And I don't think it was as hard as people make it out to seem. Like Burning Man, it's all about what is it? Self-reliance, right? Because you're out there and like you don't, there's no like public anything. It's literally just desert. But like people treat it like it's what's it called?
Alone?
Yeah, like alone. Like what is that?
Survivalist.
Survive. Yeah, they think they're like survivalists out there, or it's survivalism. Is that a word?
Sure.
Survivalism. Survivalism.
I feel like if you can add "ist" to something, you can make it an ism.
That's a word. But I don't know. I think it's a bit ridiculous because like people are out there in groups like, thank you all so much for being willing to live radically and self-reliant. And I'm like, well, people are just like trucking in coolers of like Pepsi and Crown Royal and like, Tomahawk steaks. And they got all their comforts from home just out there now. Obviously, it's pretty rugged out there. And if you get bad weather, it's, you got to push through that. But like, it's nothing like alone. That's true survivalism.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
That's not a word.
that is.
That's
Why
not a
not?
word.
Survivalism.
It's coming out my mouth weird.
Yeah, I feel like though that's like Burning Man might be, if you're a normie, that is survivalism because you've just never really camped or whatever, and so your spectrum of
True.
like what's gnarly is not that good.
Well, thank you so much for considering me to not be a normie.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
You've
wow.
definitely camped out in the bush in BC.
What is a normie? How do you become a normie?
I think a normie is like someone who lives a city life and works like a pretty average job, and maybe like their like adventure spectrum is like maybe they went camping at a state park in the US or something, and they're like, oh, the outhouse was gross, and then now there's no outhouse in Burning Man. They're like, this is roughing it, guys. And
But then there's like porta potties. You got like 500 porta
well
potties,
then.
and but even that's like it's kind of gross. But at least you're not shitting in a hole or a bucket or something. Although shitting in a hole might be better.
you're not
if you
allowed
could.
to, right? You're not allowed
No,
to.
you're not allowed. So out in the playa, you're not allowed to. I think water is the only thing that really you're allowed to like
Pour
dump
out.
out. But even then, it's supposed to be like really small amounts, and it can't be contaminated with anything. And you're supposed to like spread it out, like spray it, like fan it out, so it evaporates quicker. But all your like pee pee poo poo, your gray water, your soap water, anything you're like cooking food with, you got to collect it. So that was pretty interesting for us to do by our little tents and all that. Brooke, you wanted to chime in, or is that moment long gone?
Just about the survivalism, like you'd need to prepare a lot to go to Burning Man. Like if you just show up with clothes and nothing else, like honestly, it's pretty dangerous. Like the heat there is so intense. You need water a lot. And yeah, if you don't prepare, you could be in trouble.
Also really cold at night.
Yeah.
Like really cold. And I think a lot of people underestimate that. We met some people in walking camping, and they were like very minimal, like Coleman tent,
Nice.
just like a pillow and a one of those blow up foamy things or whatever, and nothing else really, like a sleeping bag,
Jesus.
some rebar to keep the tent down.
So
and
were they a normie?
Well, I don't know, because they have the balls to come out. Like, remember this one guy we met out there pretty quick? He's like, yeah, I love to go to places, like crazy places alone. And like every day we saw him, it just looked like he was like struggling, like kind of mentally, or he was tired or exhausted or something. And then one night he said, oh yeah, it was really cold last night. Like it drops pretty quick. It's not negative or anything like that, but well, it's chilly. Like you're wearing a few layers and maybe even like a puffy jacket, or people are wearing like crazy fur jackets and stuff. It's surprising. But there was one night that we had that was like perfect weather the whole day. It was honestly like we got away with really great weather. We also left one day early. We didn't watch the temple burn. They have two big burns. On the second to last day, they burn the man. That's a huge party. Every car is parked around the man, and it's like the most insane fireworks show you ever seen in your life. And then on the last day, they burn the temple. That's where people have like posted their images of loved ones, written notes. They're trying to let go of something, and it's not a party. It's every art car silent. There's no music, not a word out in the playa. Everybody's like very quiet and respectful. But we didn't show up to the burn this year. We were kind of cooked by the last day. We're like, let's just get out so we don't have to get stuck in the big line, the Exodus line.
Yeah.
So we left a day early, and that was a great call too, because there was crazy dust storms. But it's like if we were there, we would have been grateful. Like, oh wow, it's so cool. We got to see this dust storm, but
Yeah, you would have been like, we almost left a day early.
it's like when you're out there, you have to be grateful of whatever like is handed to you, because you're there. There's nothing you can do about it. You're stuck. Yeah.
So was it a dust storm or was it a sandstorm?
Well, I don't think it's technically sand or something. Like I
Yeah.
don't think anybody referred to it as sand.
Yeah, I would say it's dust.
It's like an alkaline dust.
I saw a video the other day. It was a fire truck and its horn was sandstorm.
What?
Yeah.
In real life?
No,
Or
on the internet.
On the internet. Okay. Well, I gotta see that. That they should show up to Burning Man. They'd be a perfect art car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Where do we begin? There's some notes. We got notes.
We haven't begun?
Dave, did you see from an outsider perspective anything on Burning Man this year?
No, but most years I wouldn't ever.
All I saw was that someone died, which is the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that happens
Early
everywhere,
on too.
if you guys didn't know.
It was like our second day of travel in, and I saw that headline, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep that secret from Brooke. I'm not gonna tell her that. Just to.
What was the cause?
Well, I don't think they said, but all the comments were like, "Bring Narcan. I carry Narcan on me everywhere." So
Yeah.
I think it was drug related.
Fentanyl.
Probably some poor decisions, maybe, but
knows?
you know, R.I.P. to those affected. That's a bummer for sure. But last year someone died too, right?
I think
or was
someone
that a rumor?
dies almost every year.
Yeah, or then Andrew told us a monkey died one year. You're not allowed to bring animals into Burning Man. Someone smuggled a monkey in.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like someone dies at like a Coachella every year, at EDC this. It's just kind of, if you get 70,000 people together,
Yeah.
the odds are stacked against you, no matter what.
Yeah.
It could just be a heart attack.
But those people might have died wherever they were. They just happened to be there,
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what,
Well, they
R.I.P.
died doing what they love.
dying.
Believe that.
I'll double it.
Let's talk about our journey there, okay? So we left pretty late, and we had to end up camping in Tacoma the first night at Dash Point Provincial Park. Now,
Where's that?
not very far out of the city. It felt like it was like we're like right by the like port or something like that.
What city?
Tacoma?
Oh, Tacoma, the city. Near the dome.
No, he was in a truck.
Oh, you thought I was saying like we
I thought you
camped
said
in a Tacoma?
in a Tacoma.
No. Literally
You
the
said in a-
place.
I see.
The city, yeah. Is there like weird copyright issues for Tacoma? Like,
The city?
or like
The
for them?
truck's named after the city.
I would imagine so.
Yeah,
Is there a city named Forerunner?
No.
Howdily dood each other, nation. You love the show, you love the pod, you love the boys. Well, why don't you support us by purchasing some of our merch on mahalomydude.com.
That's right, Matthew. We've got the finest selection of t-shirts, stickers, and hats you've ever seen. Plus, we even have feeding off each other sticker packs so that you can proudly show off your love for the show on a mug, laptop, your dog, your mom, whatever.
And as a special gift to you, our beloved Chuthers, we're offering 10% off your next order with the code FEEDING. That's right, head to mahalomydude.com and use code FEEDING for 10% off your next order.
And now,
Back to the pod.
So we stayed in Tacoma, and like the vibe I was getting from this campsite was people are like living here. Now there's a big sign that's posted at the what do you call it? The not the patrol, not the agent.
Like the ranger station
The ranger station, that's it.
in Burn Peak.
Exactly. I didn't realize that Burn Peak like is basically parroting that.
Yes.
All the same logos and designs and stuff. Anyways, big poster that says 10-day max. And I'm looking around at all the camps and I'm like, man, these people look like they've been staying for a long time. And like there's like I'm seeing like kids in cars that are just like sitting in the front seat of their Corolla with jackets on early in the morning, just kind of looking around. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they just warming up? Like, what's going on? I feel like it's like
Yeah.
rough times down there.
Yeah, that's probably what's happening.
But also, people do be living in campsites, like spend the max and then just go to the next campsite and the next campsite.
That happens here a lot too.
Yeah,
It's cheap, right? It's like
seems
$10 a night.
you know a little envious. Grass is always greener. Like, I could live that life.
You're envious of living at a campsite?
I am a little bit. I
I'm
am.
definitely not.
I
mean,
would.
You could do it.
I would love to do like like an extended period of. I mean, obviously, like in an RV would be a lot nicer,
Well, that's different.
but that's some people's camping. But I mean, like in a tent or car camping, any version of it, whatever. Yeah, I'd like to do that for an extended period of time. Just go from park to park to park to park. It'd be sweet. Why
But
not?
there's a difference between doing that and it being
Yeah.
like a conscious like I'm gonna go.
I'm
do,
living.
Yeah, versus like this is your life.
No.
And you're trying to function. You're just like, it's a Wednesday. I live in a tent. It's not quite as fun.
No, I mean, like, what's the difference between that and van life? People are doing that.
Well, you have a $100,000 van.
Yeah.
That has all the amenities.
Yeah, well, you know.
And you're branding it. It's not out of desperation. Like
Okay, well,
tent life.
I would like to experience some medium luxury form of camping long term. Yeah. But yeah, so Dash Point, we got the hell out of there after on day 2.
Dashed
and
away.
Made our way to what is it called? Klamath Falls?
Oh, in Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
It's-
Klamath.
Klamath?
Klamath?
Yeah.
You got something?
No.
My hands are Klamath up at that dead air. And we stayed at the Golden West Motel. Okay, like Brooke was a great co-pilot this trip, looking up hotels on the fly, motels on the fly, because we had like no plans. This was just like very much on the fly. Like we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Which I do kind of like. I do appreciate just a spontaneous trip without like we got to make it here at this time. We got to make it here at this time. There was many days where we're just like, why are we in a rush? Why are we trying to get to this? Why don't we just stop here? It's like what is this like internal clock that we're like, you know, beholden to? Like, let's just do what's comfortable. So that was really great. But yeah, we stayed at this motel and Brooke was on the phone trying to find reviews, and there was this one place that people said, oh, there's this great couple there. They're so nice. They're so sweet. But it was a 1-star hotel.
Does that even I didn't even realize there was 1-star.
Like
hotels.
Google reviewed 1-star or like?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I messed
Like that's
like
the
a-
ranking.
Yeah, the
Oh.
ranking.
Oh, that's okay then.
But like 5-star reviews.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because everything's, I think we talked about this before, everything's reviewed in relation to expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think there's another story later about that, about reviews. Remember about that? What was the... Oh, God. I'll figure it out. Anyways, the couple, very sweet, very nice. It was well worth it. So Klamath Falls, I feel like we got to return there one day and just, I don't know, I feel like there's like great mountain biking in
It's
the
near
area too.
Ashland.
Oregon's just amazing. Oregon's so nice. Underrated.
Eastern Oregon's crazy, I think, a little bit. That's
East-
like we're all East Oregon.
Is crazy?
I think with all the different like religions and cults out there.
Oh, crazy
for-
in a not a good way.
Also, there's a lot of, I think, militias in Oregon.
Yeah, remember?
What?
Is that where you saw the...
That's where the militia came out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, where people said you were a liar?
Yeah.
That's
That's
I
what I
think
do,
like
lie about
Oregon's
guns.
either incredibly progressive or incredibly not.
Exactly.
You're talking about like the people who like came out of the van and they were all holding guns?
Yeah.
At the gas station or whatever?
Yeah, that was in like a small town in Oregon. But I agreed. Like the landscape of Oregon's amazing.
What was
dunes-
that
the
trip you went
dunes.
on?
I drove down to like Sedona and Utah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
just
right.
Lived campsite to campsite.
Joshua Tree or something?
Yeah, I went to J Tree.
Right.
Little Oregon fun fact is that the dunes in Oregon,
Hell yeah.
Oh, love the dunes.
they inspired the movie Dune. Or
Really?
the books. Sorry, Dune.
What?
That's I heard reference to that the other day.
I was thinking that would be a fun bachelor party going and do dune buggies.
The dunes are sick
Dune
for
bug.
ATVing. And
Mahalo my Dune.
Have you done that?
yeah,
What did you do?
I ATV'd. And it was sick.
Yeah, it looks
Like,
so fun.
You're like, oh, this is quite expensive, but oh, I don't know. And then you do, and you're like, no, this is worth every penny.
Yeah.
This is like the best experience.
Man, there's some wealthy people down there with dune buggies and all the trailers stuff and their RVs. Like, damn, they got them made. I was very tempted to go into some of the like vehicle access zones and like test it out, but I didn't have the like flag on the back of my
Oh, yeah.
truck, and I was like,
You can get seriously stuck too.
I was not willing to make the risk. I was like, I got to come back here with a friend who can tow me out.
Exactly.
I didn't want to be the tourist dude who's immediately stuck 5 feet past the gate.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Brooke, we got to talk about the 2 dead raccoons. Okay, you made the note.
We already went past that. That was in Tacoma.
No, well, that was when we left. Oh yeah, true. Right. Okay, we left the campsite. You guys ever seen? You see a lot of roadkill, right? We saw a lot of roadkill on this trip. 3,000 kilometers we drove. You ever seen 2 of the same animal dead side by side?
Holding pause? No, I don't think so.
Was it like a murder suicide? You think?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was like a Romeo and Shakespeare. Shakespeare Romeo. Wait, what? Romeo
And Juliet?
Juliet. Yeah, what the fuck?
Romeo and
Wait, but-
Shakespeare. No, you got it right.
Wait, what the fuck? Did I just take two stories and put them together?
You just said the author and part
Romeo
half
and
the
Shakespeare.
title.
Oh yeah.
Is that like Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling?
It's been a while
J.K.
since I've
Rowling
been
of
in school.
Secrets.
Oh god, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that was it. We saw two dead raccoons side by side, and we're like, oh, that's sadder than normal.
And yeah, they were holding little paws.
I don't know.
Maybe. They were close enough.
They were close. They were near the garbage can on the side. So yeah. Anyways, we made our way up. We're hitting every rest stop. I drove the whole way. Brooke offered to drive, but I kind of just wanted to see if I could do it, cause like we were always like passing it off, trading it off. I just want to see, can I mentally focus on this much driving and enjoy it, and I needed a little help on the second day, so I had my first 5-hour energy ever.
They're so good.
Oh, it was the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Oh yeah, not taste-wise, I mean.
And I don't really think I felt much of an effect.
Really?
I think I've said this before on the pod that like a Red Bull and a coffee, I don't really like feel like a buzz.
Wow.
I just feel like heartburn.
Maybe you're immune.
I don't know. I mean, I still have a coffee every morning though.
Maybe it's not.
Recently.
It's not blocking your tired receptors.
Yeah, I don't know.
An extra, so a 5-hour energy has 230 milligrams of caffeine, which is like 2 big coffees, basically.
Yeah.
Back to back. You didn't feel that? I
don't-
feel those for sure.
No, I didn't like. I had it, and then like an hour later, I'm like, okay, this is probably the point when I should be feeling like something crazy, or maybe I should have already. And like, I don't know. The moment was fleeting. It was gone. I don't know.
So Brooke just got to be passenger princess the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Have
it's
you
nice.
heard this term? This is a term I hear all the time
It
now.
seems
Yep.
Yeah.
kind of cancelable, Dave.
How is it cancelable?
I don't know. Passenger princess?
Hey, it could be a prince. It could be a passenger prince.
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa,
we're
whoa.
genderfying passengers now.
No. It's specifically when it's a lady. You call it a passenger princess.
It just seems derogatory.
I'm not offended, Dave. Go ahead.
As a man, I'm not offended either, but
No, it's like a thing. Like I've seen it.
I see memes all over the place. Come
Yeah,
on.
I
If
see
it's in a
memes.
meme, it can't be offensive.
But then I've seen it on like dating apps where girls would be like passenger princess, like self-identify.
This is why we don't understand Jason, because we're not on the dating apps, okay?
Yeah.
He's way
Yeah.
more in the loop than we are.
Yeah, it's just me. So it's not offensive because they're calling themselves. It's like their N-word.
oh god, I'll bleep that.
Well, yeah, I mean, did I call you passenger princess at any point? I think I said it once.
Yeah,
I think it
probably.
was like the second half of the trip when I realized, oh yeah,
I'm not offended. I liked it.
yeah,
Like you get to
Nailed
be
it.
royalty.
Yeah.
And you don't have to drive. It sounds pretty good to me.
yeah. Little bit of responsibility there. You kind of got to be like on the phone, whatever's needed, like directions or whatnot. But you know, some duties. Anyway, so then we made it. We left. We went through 500 towns, and we're at this one gas station. I go inside. Did I tell you about my secret weapon at Burning Man?
You haven't told us
Gun.
anything.
I think in the past I told you this.
Your secret weapon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the portable bidet.
Oh,
The portable Tushy bidet.
it is a gun of sorts then.
Have you ever seen this thing? Ever showed you it? Google it.
Is it just a super soaker that you just kind of
Super
like?
stoker.
It's a super stoker.
Jason's my super stoker.
And I'm portable.
And he fits in my pocket. Cleans my ass when I need him. No, it's like a little water bottle thing with a little little spray nozzle thing, and you just like squeeze it, and it goes between your legs, and you change the angle. Cleans out all the nooks and crannies. It's great at a place like Burning Man where you're in porta potties for a week straight. Dude.
Just use it right out on the playa.
Yeah, it's water bottle when you need it. Just kidding. There it is. So, anyways, I go into the gas station. I take my Tushy portable into the gas station. Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed that I clean my ass with water. People, you should too, you freaks.
Who are you yelling at?
You and everybody else.
No one's
This is a
questioning it.
judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
we've had this conversation before. We've had the whole, would you shit on your hairy arm and then wipe it off with paper towel and call it a day?
What?
We've had that conversation before.
Yeah. But also my arm lives out in the world and is touching things, whereas my
What's
my
it touching?
people wear underwear for a reason. It's holding stuff in.
Oh, dear God. Dear God.
So it's not a perfect analogy.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, so you would if you shit on your arm, you would just clean it off with paper towel and call it a day?
No, I'm saying because my arm lives out in the world.
No, he's saying he will happily leave shit on his ass as
Yeah.
long as he contains it with 2 layers of fabric.
Oh, that's fucked, dude.
Wait,
remember-
it's fucked. You're saying it's fucked that I use toilet paper? Is that what your argument is?
But no, what Matt said, you leave shit on your ass.
No, that's not his argument. Is that toilet paper leaves shit behind?
But
Wait, can I redo the intros? I want to call Dave something different.
Okay, yeah,
Dave,
Yeah.
Dirty Butthole Higgins.
they've shit on that thing.
yeah, that's me.
So, anyways, I go in like a city slicker softy into the restroom. I poop. You guys ever poop? You get up, you do your belt buckle, and you're like, "Nah, I got another one in," and then you sit right back
No,
down for a second.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
100%. I'm right with you.
Shake my hand, Dave. What's with this guy? This guy, he doesn't eat enough. That's why.
I spent enough time on the initial sit down that I'm fine.
I told
This guy does his Kegels every day. That's why.
I told Jason he should, aside from just Wordle, also play Connections, which is another New York Times crossword game. And he's like, I only poop once a day. That's when I do my Wordle. There's no other time to do Connections in a day.
I can't spend more time on random apps.
It's the same app, Jason.
Sorry.
So I'm doing my thing in there, and then I'm like, oh geez, maybe I've taken a little bit too long in here, and I'm like, I sure hope there's no one outside. I exit, there's like a teenage girl right there waiting. I'm like, oh god, okay, and I get out. I'm like, hey Brooke, how's it going? She's like, well, I saw a sign on the fence that said buy 10 liters of gas. Well, I guess it wasn't liters. It was like buy 2 gallons of gas. What was it?
8 gallons.
8 gallons of gas and get a free soda pop. Fountain pop or coffee or
Nice.
something.
That's not that much gas. Wait. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a lot of gas.
It's like almost
What'd you say?
I
almost
was
a
thinking
tank.
liters.
Did you say 8 gallons?
That's
too much.
No.
Wait,
Why-
is it too
why
much?
would it be too
How many
much?
gallons?
That's
is
Wait,
that?
48
48 liters?
Oh, isn't? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a
What?
tank.
Yeah, it's a full tank of gas.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yes.
not a crazy amount. You just fill up your tank and you get a treat.
All right, well, who cares? And you want to tell a story, Brooke?
Yeah.
Get on it.
I went inside and I got the soda, the fountain drink, and then I also saw some Fireball. Picked that up, and
Fireball in the gas station. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
USA.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
In the gas.
It's because I put my keys in the ignition too early.
And when I went to purchase it, the guy looks at my ID. He's like, "Oh, you're from Canada. Are you from Surrey?"
This was an Indian fella.
Oh.
And I am from Surrey. And I was like, "What the fuck? How did you know that?" Because it doesn't say that on the ID.
I thought what he said was, "Are you from Surrey or something?"
Yeah.
What, are you from Surrey or something? She goes, "What the hell? Yeah, I am." So
Did-
it
I don't know,
reinforced the
that was like-
stereotype.
that was in Oregon, I think. And I was just like, "How did you know that?" And he said that he's been there a few times, but like out of all the places you could choose in BC,
Out of all the places that an Indian man working at a gas
For
station.
an international listener, Surrey is a less desired for some people place in BC.
Not because of the people,
No, because of the people.
just because of like
well, I mean,
the
gang
war
member people.
Yeah,
the,
so-
the gangs, the drug wars.
Those are people.
And there's a lot of people of Indian descent there. So this guy probably has some personal
also-
connection
Yeah,
through
he might have
family or
some.
whatever
Yeah.
to Surrey. So yeah. I thought, okay, where I thought you were going with the story was that you're like, and I went to high school with this guy. Not
Same,
like
same.
He found himself working at a gas station in Oregon.
She did say I probably went to high school with him, but
Wait, do they still have it where they have someone that has to pump for you in Oregon?
there was no. There were signs that were like, "Pump my own gas. We encourage it." There was one place on the way home in Oregon that there was an attendant. Yeah, actually, someone at that pump, he did come out and say, "Are you all good?" And I said, "Yeah, don't bother me. Go away, please."
Give me my free soda.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, 8 gallons is only 32 liters, which is not that much gas.
There you go.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Anyways, we kept going on. I'm gonna fire through these notes, guys. Okay, we went to some state park, saw a crazy waterfall. Brooke and I took a simultaneous standing piss. I stood up, used my wiener to pee, as I do. Brooke, standing, used her she-wee. You know what the she-wee is?
I do.
Now,
I've seen it used.
Jason, your better half,
Yep.
lower half, Lauren, she says that, Brooke and I have talked about this. This is why I know. Lauren says that whoever designed the Shiwi Must have been a man because they don't know which way the vagina is shaped and
Which way?
which way it faces.
Vertically, horizontally. It's a mystery to all of us.
No, they don't know how it's shaped, and pretty tricky device to use.
Yeah.
Are you aware what this thing is?
I'm aware.
Okay.
And fun. This is funny timing. I went to a one-woman show on the weekend.
A one-woman show?
One woman. It's just one woman.
It's far too few
Stand-up
women.
comedy or?
She was standing most of the time. It wasn't stand-up comedy. It was like a story. It was part of Fringe Fest.
Okay.
Stand up.
And anyways, it was called A Woman's Guide to Peeing Outside. And at the very end, like it's a whole life story, and she ties in peeing. All these times she had to pee outside, blah blah blah. But at the very end, she has like a diagram, and she tells women how to pee, like just using her hand. And she's like, and you hold here with 2 fingers, and I was
A little pressure.
What are you holding?
like, oh. You're kind of
Your
like
vulva.
You're kind of like you're angling.
Demonstrate it for us, Dave, please.
Yeah, let's see. Spit on thing.
Oh.
That makes I can see how that would make sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw it in a textbook once. Yeah. So the shiwi, that was Brooke's secret weapon of the trip, I think. Actually, was it? Yeah, it was for
Yeah,
sure.
I had to use it a bunch in the tent.
Yeah, 'cause
we had a big
In the
bottle.
tent?
Yep.
Yeah,
Because we're pissing in bottles.
pretty nasty.
We had a piss bottle because sometimes it's way more convenient.
What
just
kind
to
of
do it in a
bottle are we talking about?
We're talking like a
1 gallon bottle.
yes,
I'm a hollow my
correct.
dude.
Yes, hollow my dude.
On sale now.
Smirnoff Ice.
Slightly used
Short
bottles on sale now. So what like so you're saying you used it? Do you go directly into it?
The bottle?
Yeah.
A bottle?
Yeah.
How do I pee into a bottle? You ever peed into
I'm
a
just
bottle?
saying, is it like what's the whole like? What's your?
It's pretty small.
What's my whole
Okay.
like?
Well,
I mean, it's probably pretty similar to yours.
Yeah, but you know, like some bottles have like a wide mouth, and some have like a smaller mouth.
Nalgene, wide mouth.
Yeah, are we talking Nalgene sized?
No, we're talking like like a little bit bigger than like a Coke cap, like medium size, not Nalgene. Hell no.
So then, how are you like? Are you holding it up? Like, are you making contact?
Let's just say I had one accident the entire trip that shit fucking missed, and I was like, oh boy.
Why was there shit in there?
No, that's what I realized. I'm using the wrong side.
Oh, I got my bottles mixed up.
I don't know how this is
Wow,
shaped.
we have not talked about Burning Man
No,
yet.
and we never will. This is all the good
It's
stuff.
all part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just put the tip of my thing in there, and boy, that's a scary moment where you're like, I'm gonna let it go. Reminds me of Dumb and Dumber, where he's pissing into the beer bottles, and it just keeps going and going and going, and then the sound effects, like you hear it stop for a moment and go, or you hear it go on the floor for a moment, and then it continues in the jar. Yeah.
I feel like I just want a bigger hole.
It's just-
Yeah, ideally.
You-
we
heard
don't, we
it
don't all
first,
have
ladies.
a 12-inch hog, Dave, okay? We don't need it.
But that's just in width.
Yeah, precision pissing. I don't know. All right. Well, okay. So we got to Burning Man. The line was pretty mellow. We waited like an hour and a half. Generally, it's like pretty gnarly. But we got there on Tuesday. I think Burning Man opens officially on like a Sunday. We got there a few days later. So again, just like, why are we rushing? Let's just get there when we get there. Who cares? We got lots of days to chill and experience it. So yeah, the benefit was quicker line. And got through. Now, one of the biggest decisions that I couldn't really get over, I was okay with the walking, camping. I'd come to terms with, I think we can do this. I think we can kind of, struggle it out. But I wasn't sure about bringing my truck because I've read a lot of horror stories that like your car will never be the same. You're going to have dust coming out of the aircon for years to come. You're going to ruin the underside. The alkaline dust is going to slowly corrode every metal part. It was very scary decision for me to do that. But I did it anyways. Because on the last day, last year, I brought my truck in to like rescue us from the floods. And it was really great weather too. It was a sunny day after the flood. So all the like the ground was like clay basically. And I thought, well, this is fine. This is totally, as long as the weather is good, it should be okay on the truck. So I thought, fuck it. You know what? I'm just going to cross my fingers for good weather. But I did come prepared with tarps and painter's tape. So I parked my car and I took the painter's tape. I took, what's it called? Frog
tape.
Frog tape, yeah. I took frog tape from Home Depot and I taped up every seam on my car. All around the doors, all around the windows. I did the rear window. I did like around the rear hatch. I did the vents that go into the cabin. I also came with an extra air filter, an engine air filter. I was prepared to not fuck up the truck. And I tarped it up and I like tied it. I tarped up the whole engine bay. I tarped up the side. There was very little parts of the truck that were actually exposed. And people say like, you can take your truck or your car or whatever, just only take your stuff out, lock it up, seal it up, never go into it. The only time you go back into it is when you're leaving. So that was our approach. Didn't quite work out that way because we had some trouble setting up our camp. So it ended up that we were like going back and forth into the truck a little bit. But on the final day, I took off the tape and there was goo all along.
It melted, didn't it?
Only on the side that the sun was shining on.
That stuff is not good in the heat.
So, you know, I was researching like what kind of tape do I use? It was the day before we left. Like what kind of painter's tape is best? And people are like, get automotive tape. And people are like, automotive tape's the same thing. It just bends. It forms to curves easier. They're like, it might melt. So it was like extremely hot at Burning Man. It was like 35 degrees, 37, I think, on the hottest day. So, I mean, yeah, any tape probably would have melted. But we did take some rubbing alcohol and we rubbed it off and it was totally fine. Like it came off, no big deal. But I mean, every day that passed, there was kind of like no windstorm. We got out really lucky. So I don't know. My truck right now seems fine.
It's probably fine.
And on the way back, we went to the car wash, sprayed it down. I actually went twice. I think the truck is fine. But I think we got lucky because if you go when there's like dust storms every single day, your car could get pretty fucked. But I was like taping up my truck thinking like you see a lot of this when you drive through to your camp. You see a lot of tape and tarps and stuff. I was like, I hope I'm not like a noob, like to some veteran burner who's like, wow, look at that guy, city slicker trying to protect his nice truck. Like, should have brought a beater out or whatever. But then you keep going into the city and you see the most insane tarp jobs. Like people have like taken the biggest tarp sold, drive their like Tesla or BMW i8 into the middle of it and then wrap it up like a Christmas present, like perfectly, no gaps or anything. Some people have like the big car covers, you know, some people use it who live by the ocean so the salt water doesn't damage their truck. Or like, I think even like interior cities in North America that get a lot of snow and salt, they like cover it in the same way. So I thought I was kind of showing my cards being a city slicker, but no big deal.
Nice.
I
No
mean,
big deal.
Jason already said you're not a normie though, so you shouldn't have been too worried.
Well, I sure felt like a normie at times, but yeah. So then when we got there, like you're supposed to like be respectful of where do you park. You know, if you're gonna park somewhere, you like ask your neighbors, "Hey, can I park here? Do you have any friends coming in?" So we getting a little nervous because it's Tuesday now, right? So a lot of people have settled. We find a spot. I jump out, ask a dude, big fat dude, super hairy chest, hairy back. I love the hair. I'm like, can we park here beside the U-Haul over here? You guys got a lot of space. He's like, how many friends you got? I'm like, just us. He's like, all right, park as close as you can to that U-Haul. Then the whole trip, never saw any person come from their camp. It was just the same situation as when we arrived. I walk away and I'm like, all right, thanks. He's like, hey, whoa. You're not getting out of here without a hug. This guy bear hugs me and gives me the biggest, strongest hug I've ever felt in my life. I'm like, he's like, what's your situation? What's going on? I'm like, I'm here with my fiance. We're just gonna do the walking camping right there. I proposed to her right in that spot right there. We're gonna set the tent right where we proposed. And he's like, no way, that deserves a high five from me, brother. And we got high fives from everybody and went on my way. And then he's like just cheering for me. I'm like, we're going to consummate our marriage out there. And he's like, can I watch? And then we never really saw him again. Except for that one time where he was like, we rode by his camp and he was like, get off my lawn.
And then he's like, "You're not getting away without a big wet kiss."
Oh, and I gave him that. Yeah. So friendly people upon when we arrived, and then we had to set up our tent. So our tent situation, a lot of people like they show up with these like crazy, what are they called? Shift pods. They're like, they look space age. They're like an aluminum, they look like, like tin foil, like it's shiny or whatever.
Like a
to,
dome.
to reflect
A
the sun
dome.
and such.
Yeah. I think they still get really fucking hot.
I was
out
gonna
there.
say that seems
Probably.
like you'd get really hot.
But I mean, it's mitigation, right? It's like getting rid of some heat. It makes some difference. But you still need like a shade structure on top of or around your camp. So like the sun like can't get through that, and then any residual heat just hopefully stays out. But a lot of people are running AC units.
Oh my god.
Like it's amazing the setups like that people bring, and like it's not as complicated as it sounds. Like pretty impressive. But our setup, we just were gonna pull up with a tent. At first we were just gonna show up with like the 4-person tent that we have, and then I pulled up to my parents' house and I thought, I think they have an 8-person tent. So we asked if we could borrow that, and I don't even think they knew that they had it. We took it, and that was awesome because it was so big, and like now we could just not only live in it but put all of our stuff in like coolers and shit in there, and also has a little kind of built-in shade structure on the outside, like almost like a little, we called it our patio. So just a little bit of shade where we could put 2 chairs and a cooler as like our outdoor living room set up.
Could you stand in your tent?
Yeah,
Nice.
we could stand in it.
That's key.
But we were well aware that like the dust might be an issue because there was so much netting on this tent. So we read online that something you could do is like take a sheet, cut it to size, and cover up every hole, and then use safety pins, and every 6 inches safety pin around the mesh so that the dust doesn't get in. So at Dash Point in Tacoma, we did a practice setup. We set up the tent. That was our first time setting up. And then in the morning, we had all these extra sheets. Brooke went to the thrift store and got like some sheets, and like one of the sheets had like a blood stain on it. It looked like it was from the hospital. It was like, but it was like 50 cents or whatever. It was like well worth
You
it.
can't pass up those savings.
You can't. We're like, maybe we can cut that off.
It's a killer deal.
So we came with like 200 safety pins in this fabric, and at Dash Point, we pinned it all up, and it was like perfect. We like made notes, like here's the top, here's the bottom, here's the corner. And the plan was, okay, we're going to set the tent, and then we'll throw this fabric on, and that'll keep some of the dust and the heat. And it was white sheets, so hopefully it'd bounce off some of the heat and just make it a little cooler. So we set up the tent. Of course, when we arrive, it's windy. It's like the only windy day. So I don't think we were like, I think if there was nobody around, I think we could have set it up. Brooke, I think we would have successfully pinned down the sides.
Yeah.
So I had previously for this bought like 14-inch leg screws. You can't just use regular stakes there. You got to drill like way into there. So I had an impact drill, huge screws that would then take in each corner of the tent, and then all the extra fly attachments. We opened up the tent, and it's just like flying everywhere, right? And from like way down in the camping, I guess 2 people had like noticed that Brooke and I were alone, and we're like dealing with this like flapping tent. So they came over like almost like within the first 5 minutes of us setting up. And they're like, hey, we saw you guys. We thought you guys might need some help. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, this is awesome. So they just held down each corner, bap, 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 bap. I used the screws, and it was down. And then they left, and I was like, oh, all right. I thought maybe they would like help a little bit more, because we still got to do like the poles now. And this is just like standard Coleman tent. You got the cross, like just like 4, the poles, right? Just 4 corners. That's it. And like this middle unit. So Brooke and I, we put the poles together. We put it up. The wind turns it into a pancake, like absolutely flat. This tent is just flat to the ground, and there's like nothing we can do to bring it up. So we're pulling it up, and we're trying to like we're trying to figure out, we can use one hand to like hold it up, and like the other foot to like pin it down. And then you put the fly, and it only gets worse, because now it's just like a sail. So a little moment of panic where I'm like, oh fuck, this is not gonna work. There's no way that we can get this up. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, but there's Coleman tents everywhere. Like, what the hell? And they're rock solid, and they don't look like they're they're slightly different shapes and whatnot. But I was like having a like near meltdown. Like, oh my God, what are we gonna?
I'm in danger.
Exactly. What are we gonna do? And then sure enough, they come back, the helpers, and it was they weren't a couple. It was just two people from Quebec. The woman, she was a civil engineer, and she's like, oh yeah, I think I have an idea. I think what you have to do is, do you have rope? Oh, perfect. Okay, so make an X on each corner. Tie the top corner to the opposite bottom corner, and then the other top corner to the opposite bottom corner. Make an X. She's like, just like at Costco, right? And I'm like, what? She's like, like the shelves. Each shelf has like an X. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Just shelving in general.
So she's probably like, I don't know. They were probably like drunk or whatever at that point because it was like the evening, right? They're probably having a good time. So they're like, hey, let's go help those people. Totally saved the setup for us. And yeah, we used there. Basically, she just took charge. She's like I didn't ask for it or anything. She's like, it was almost like her own little challenge. She's like, this is awesome. I get to do what I love, So tent goes up. Then I think we set up the fly. Everything's good. It seems solid. And it's like the relief is we have relief. I think we're going to survive. I think we have a tent now. And the sheet thing, that doesn't work. That does not work at all. We totally abandoned it.
Way too heavy.
It just added even more weight to it.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, probably, I don't know. I think it's hard to know. I think we did end up adding one white sheet in like the second half of the trip where it was just got too hot in the tent. We're like, I safety pin one kind of portion just to block some of the sun. It did make a difference. Like, I think the sun was so intense that you could probably get sunburnt through the tent.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that was like the biggest panic, but it all went smooth from there on. And then we had, how many gallons of water did we bring?
I think it was like 27.
27. So that's, those like Canadians, well, maybe not this, I shouldn't use that. Like, the cooler, blue cooler bottles, the big ones. They're like, what is
Like
it?
a
5
Canadian Springs.
gallon? Is that 5 gallon?
Yeah.
We brought 2 of those from Walmart. We had the green canister from Overland Outfitters that's
like jerry
20
can.
liter. Yeah. 20 liter, and then I had another one for my rooftop, and then we had like 2 more 1 liter or 1 gallon water bottles. We had a lot of water. We actually ended up having 5 gallons more than we needed, but which is good.
That's a good problem.
Better, but it was like fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And also those 5 gallon bottles, they ended up being our anchors because our friend, civil engineer, she was like, put those in the corner and those will like really tie it up. And in the night when she was gone, I added 1 more anchor to the top. The thing was rock solid, so I was really stoked. But we had all the water we could get, and then we also, the food was the biggest thing because people are like, oh, you have to bring in all your food. It's gonna have to last 7 days. So Brooke, in the days leading up to our departure, she went to town making dehydrated food for our first time in the my favorite, what the hell's it called? Instapot.
No. My favorite thing in the world. What is it now?
All I could think was Crock-Pot, but I'm like, that's not it.
I love it like a child. Don't know its name.
The Instapot. I mean, I do love it. You guys know. With future sponsor of the podcast, right?
I think mine stopped working.
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah, I tried to make
around.
like pulled chicken sort of thing, and the thing wouldn't drop. The like pressure valve.
Oh.
And I kept trying to make it, and then I just made the world's worst chicken.
I got worms.
Like, it was cooked, but it was just disgusting.
So we made dehydrated spaghetti, dehydrated pad thai, dehydrated. Wasn't there
That was all I made, but we had a lot more stuff.
We had some soup mix. We had what was our main meals?
We had lots of hot dogs the first few days.
Lots of hot dogs. Yeah, get some great hot dogs. Lots of wieners. Yeah, like
So you had a stove.
Yeah, we brought a stove. We brought instant like curry, those packs, and like instant rice. Man, we had way more food than we needed, and it wasn't like it didn't look like a ridiculous amount. But we brought 2 coolers. We also brought a lot of alcohol. We had like box of Corona. We had a box of Neutrals. We had a box of what's the
High Noon.
yeah, High Noon. That's the pizza guy's drink, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Barstool Sports. High
Is
Noon?
it? The pizza guy?
Yeah, what's
Dave
his name?
Portnoy?
Yeah, isn't that his drink?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it is.
Is it a seltzer? What is it?
Yeah, it's a margarita. It's a tequila like kind
okay.
of seltzer.
Is it like a light blue can?
Oh yeah.
I think it's green.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
blue,
maybe it is
blue and
blue.
white.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was imagining.
Yeah, those were great. We had the bottle of Fireball, and then we had like one bottle of gin, and we are gonna do yeah. But we like when we were in the Walmart on the way there, we're like, Jesus, this is a lot of booze. But last year the problem was we didn't have enough because we're like, let's just get one like box of beer, and I'm sure there'll be enough because you hear all about these like bars you show up to, and it's just free booze, and people are gifting things or whatever. But it was a good problem to have once again that we had too much booze because then we ended up making friends and like throwing little parties and stuff and offering booze and whatnot. So yeah, it felt a bit excessive that we like went in there with so much stuff, but
You're never gonna regret bringing too much of anything, basically.
Exactly.
yeah.
You're only regretting when you're like, we could have.
And like last year when it was during the storm, like people were running out of food and it became an issue for a lot of people. So we thought, okay, worst case scenario, we don't want to run thin on food. So yeah, I don't know. But the thing was leading up to the event, we're looking at the weather report and it was sun the whole time. Like there was no chance that it was going to turn to rain. No chance. No chance. I am a scientist and there was no chance. So yeah, I don't know. We went in.
Did it rain?
Yeah. Wait. What?
Actually, it did rain once, but before we got there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's so irrelevant.
Yeah.
So what's the joke?
Was there a joke? Was there a joke? I don't know. I'm on to the next thing. Yeah. Also, we're like midway through the tent setup. We're like, we got 4 people on it. The wind's going crazy. We got the tarp up there like a sail. Like we're like frantically like trying to communicate to each other. And then like guy comes up, old man. He's walking up slowly. I'm like, oh, I guess we got another helper. And he comes up. He's like, hey guys, just wanted to let you know that we're having a movie night over there tonight, 8 p.m., showing Austin Powers or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, hope to see you there. See you later. And we're like,
Okay, boomer.
like, all right, thanks, dude. It's like, read the room, man. Jesus. I think like a lot, it's weird. Like a lot, like the Burning Man culture, like you go through the town and like every corner you have people with like megaphones, like come get a drink, or like come eat our berries or come get fruit or watch a movie, like whatever they have. And they're just like, they're peer pressuring you to like come enjoy their tent, their offering. And it's weird because it's like instantly you have this pressure on your like, and like, you know, they kind of shame you. Like if you ride past or you don't acknowledge, you don't say anything, they're like, it's like chirping, right? Like there's a very much like a chirp culture at Burning Man to like tease each other and whatever,
Right.
like friendly though. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird because like people are there, like the motivation is just to have fun and just offer things for free. But like, I just find it weird that people stand outside the camps with their megaphones in like suits or whatever, comfortable, uncomfortable maybe, and their task is just to like shout at people for 2 hours.
So are
Like,
they the leader of this operation, or are they just
don't
a
think so.
person? Because if you're the guy doing it, but then you're just busy promoting it, you're not even doing the thing that you're promoting.
Nah, I don't think they're the leader at all.
I wonder
Yeah.
if they're in their real life, they're the guys like stand outside businesses and like throw signs.
Sign guys.
Yeah.
I think it's like they come and go through all the effort of bringing their thing, whatever, like say their movie setup. Like people brought like, in this guy's case, like it was a full movie setup. You got bean bags, like a full projector, like popcorn, candy bar, like it's the whole thing. And then if nobody shows up, you're like, well, what the hell is that for? So you have to like go out and promote it to like justify your efforts, I guess.
For sure.
But it does make it kind of awkward. So I don't know. But the one place that we did regularly visit was the ice. So like, I guess at every kind of, like it's like 3, 6, 9 p.m. or whatever on this map,
Plaza.
the plazas within the map of the city, there's Arcticas or something. Is that what they call them?
Yeah,
Arcticas? It's just where they sell ice. So you have like semi trucks come in, they're back in, and there's like this dome structure, and it's just people slanging ice, and it's like very methodical. There's like lineups. It never was a big lineup for us, but you say hey to the first person, okay, line up here. It's like it's quite a big operation just to get ice. There's a lot of people involved. I think ultimately they want the tip because they do go like they hand it back to you and they look at you and they want that tip. But yeah, we're there every day getting ice to refill our coolers because we have one Yeti, which is awesome. Keeps the ice for like a few days. And then we have one shit cooler that's just like, you look 10 minutes later and it's water.
Soup.
Yeah, not good. But the ice place is like way more exciting than you'd think. It's like a full on party in there. Like it's like full DJ. You got a guy playing like the trumpet, another guy with like the tiniest saxophone you've ever seen in your life. And there's like a full dance party every time, every hour of this ice place.
I'm just imagining the movie Batman and Robin where
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze,
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
like this like frozen kingdom and there's people like partying in this like ice thing.
Excellent.
Yeah. What else? What else is worth talking about? What about the flamethrower? That's a pretty fun one. So, I mean, it was so fun to be there with Brooke and just experience it on our own accord, do whatever we want. We went on so many great bike rides around. You know, you're going deep into the desert all hours of the day. I mean, like, the biggest challenge with Burning Man, honestly, is that there's just like so much you could do. And you got all these plans or ideas, and then something just sweeps you up, and then you have like FOMO. It's like dealing with FOMO, I feel like, is like the biggest challenge because there truly is so many awesome things every corner. It's just, it's so fun. But this was one night where we're like riding through town, and we just, the other thing is like you get tired because it's so hot. That's probably the equal challenge from the FOMO. It's like balancing your fatigue, because in the daytime, it's like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of great parties, and it's also way too hot generally to sleep unless you're in like a place with AC. So you're like trying to rest as much as you can. But then in the night, it's like super happening, and there's all the lights are crazy. Like you want to spend as much time as you can out on the playa doing things, but now you're tired because all day you're like just sweltering in the heat, dying. Maybe you're working. It's, yeah, I mean, I guess this is why a lot of people take drugs to keep
I was going to
them,
say,
you know?
there's ways around this.
Yeah.
5 hour energy.
Goes
But
in
then,
your
I mean, in
nose.
our case, alcohol, that's not making you any more, I mean, it makes you energized in the moment, but then you pay the price
Yeah, it's
later.
short lived.
Yeah, it fatigues you later. But anyway, so the first night maybe we're exploring, Brooke and I, like, it's almost like we feel guilty. We're like, I'm tired. You like get out there and you're like, but it's kind of awesome because so many of these art installations are just like creative beds or like creative couches or something. Like the coolest, like, you see it from a distance, you see like a 3-story couch and you just see like dozens of people climbing this thing, chilling. Some people are sleeping, some people are partying, whatever. Like you just see these seats out in the distance. You're like, I want to sit on that. And I think a lot of people like are napping. They're just napping in all these cozy places. And you never know what you're going to see. Like you see like a box. There's one place you see out far in the desert, it's just a box that looks like nothing. You ride up to it and then you go to the other side and it's like a full 80s styled furnished apartment that's like in the middle of nowhere.
Sick.
And then like there's like a game of Twister and there's like a DJ, or not a DJ, but there's like a mix playing. It's like you just never know what you're gonna find. So we're resting, we're like hopping from like rest point to rest point, and we end up on this like swing thing for 2 people, and we're chilling on it. And beside us, there's a guy with a Elon Musk flamethrower, and he's just standing there, just chilling, and he's just.
What makes it an Elon Musk flamethrower?
Well, we should confirm this.
Isn't it the one he sold?
I don't know.
It was
Did he
like-
sell one?
Yeah, he sold a bunch of flamethrowers.
Oh, okay.
They were $1,000.
Yeah, it was like limited edition. It was only a certain amount, and I'm pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it was the Elon Musk one. I mean, it looked exactly like it. It was like,
It's called the Not a Flamethrower.
let's
Oh,
see,
okay.
zoom in on that thing.
It looks like an AI image.
It didn't say boring. Oh yeah, it was to promote the Boring Company.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what the Boring Company is?
Is this one of his companies?
Like the tunnel boring machine.
Boring.
Yeah, I think it was just like a marketing thing. I don't know actually, dude. If it was, I don't think it said boring. It said something else. But it looked almost the same. He had a propane tank on it, blue propane tank, and he never actually like pulled the trigger, so it went. But it was always like the pilot was on, so it had a consistent flame. But Brooke and I were there just like half alive, like so tired, comfortable, and I like it. I really wanted to ask him if I could try it, but I'm like, I'm too tired. Whatever, who cares? I'm just gonna watch and see if he pulls the trigger, and then I think we fell asleep or whatever, and then. Yeah, that's the thing about Burning Man, immediacy. You're immediately in that moment, you're supposed to be like, screw it. You know what? I'm going to ask him, can I try your flamethrower? You're supposed to take it upon yourself to like, you know, maybe accept the intrusive thought. Like, go ask the person, go talk to him, go say yes. You know, I saw a sticker that was like, hydrate yourself and say yes.
It's like that Jim Carrey movie,
Yes, man.
Bruce Almighty.
The Mask. I'm just kidding.
What?
I was talking about Yes. I was talking about Yes Man.
I like that movie, Hydrated Yes Man.
Like the Truman Show.
Yeah. So does it sound like I'm just telling you about my dream? Because this is no different. It's about 7 hours in.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw a Cybertruck there, and we heard that the Cybertruck, they were charging the Cybertruck, and then the Cybertruck was being used as a generator to power the entire camp. So the Cybertruck was literally just a battery.
That's good use for it.
And then beside that camp, there was a camp with 2 Musks there, like family members of the Musk family.
The Musk.
The Musqueam tribe.
Far too white,
Not
I
to be
think.
racist or anything.
What's Musk's heritage?
Elon?
Yeah,
He grew up in South Africa.
Oh,
South
yeah,
African.
right.
Yeah.
The ironic thing about the Cybertruck is that it was fueled by gasoline.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
the
Classic.
yeah.
Like a gas
The
generator.
The generator,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I'm looking at that Cybertruck, like, and I think we saw 3 Cybertrucks this trip too. This is probably my 4th I've seen. The first one was on Sea to Sky.
Oh yeah, I've seen a bunch in Vancouver and North Van.
What a goofy looking truck.
Never seen it IRL.
Really?
No.
They're all over.
They're all
they
over,
all
dude. Come
over?
on, man.
In
What's wrong with
Vancouver
you?
for sure. Yeah.
How many
downtown.
are there even in the world?
I think a few thousand.
It's not that many.
Like tens of thousands. Let's say.
Come on, Dave. See cars, dude.
not like
Dave,
a-
just go outside.
It's not like a Toyota Camry, you know. They're not just on every street.
Oh
corner.
yeah, of course not.
Real ugly car, I tell you.
Yeah, it's not great.
Looks ugly, especially from the rear.
It's kind of like celebrity fashion when like a celebrity's like, I'm so cool, I'm just gonna wear the ugliest shit and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a meme.
Yeah. I don't know. You think they're going to take over?
No.
No, of course not.
There'll be that thing where you look back.
It's like the DeLorean. It's just like not
Yes.
it's cool, but
DeLoreans
it's not
are
practical.
DeLoreans are fucking cool though. Now.
I know. But they failed as a product.
Yeah.
Even with Back to the Future.
They came out before and they had already kind of failed by the time Back to the Future came out. It was like part of the joke. We're like, oh, we're gonna put a time machine in this piece of shit.
And then it became cool.
And the doors are cool.
Of course.
So you know those people who helped us, the civil engineer and the other guy from Quebec. So we're like, okay, we got to pay the favor or like do something for these guys. Guess what we did, guys? We introduced to most of them, all but one, King's Cup. Played King's Cup at Burning Man.
Nice.
We got
And we
comments
did
about
the King's Cup.
We got comments about King's Cup last time we talked about
And
it.
I drank it. I drank from the King's Cup. We actually,
We all did.
we all did.
Was it the piss bottle?
It was like a,
That's your contribution.
yeah, it was like out of solidarity. We're like, oh, actually, and there was a guy there who was sober. He hadn't drank.
Yeah, he was supposed to drink it.
Oh, okay, so that's why. That's why we're all like, okay, well, I'll take a drink. Sorry.
I'm talking about Mountain Dews,
He's
baby.
like, no, this is the moment.
No, he was like very curious. He's like, I'm kind of curious. Like, maybe I'll just like take a drink. And I'm like, when's the last time you had a sip? He's like, oh man, long time, man. I don't even know. He's like, yeah, I used to have a problem with it.
Yeah,
And then
don't
it-
let that guy drink it.
he's just drinking the King's Cup.
Wait,
But-
he did taste it?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I
He's
know.
probably back on the street.
But I
Oh
was,
my
I think I said to him, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I walked him off the ledge.
I
would
would
have
have just taken it and just chugged it.
Well, that would have been noble of me, but I didn't. I was like, it's Burning Man. Go ahead.
Fuck.
Like he definitely regrets it. In
I don't
one
think
way.
he did, man. This guy was a free spirit. This guy was pretty cool. Can't remember his name.
I mean, alcoholism's a hell of a disease, though.
He seemed like
broke the
he'll be
seal.
fine.
Ah,
King's Cup. Who didn't hurt anybody except for that guy. Anyways, it was fun. It was fun. And what was the best part of that game? I would say probably what killed everybody was the little man.
No.
No?
It was In My Ass.
Oh yeah, that was his name.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I got all the boring cards. I just got all the ones that was like, oh, you drink. Oh, I drink. Oh, everyone drinks. I didn't get any creative cards. And you know I love the creative cards.
I don't like those ones that much in general.
You don't like the rule card?
No, the like you drink, I drink. Like
Oh, yeah,
just the
yeah.
sort of like prescribed ones.
That
the
one
rules are so
feels-
much more fun.
Yeah, that one feels like, okay, this is just problematic.
The fun,
We're just abusing.
it's only fun when
abusing
you become like drinking buddy. Like that's a fun rule.
We did that,
Yeah.
which we really didn't obey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snake eyes was a fun one too, where you can't look in the person's eyes. If you make eye contact with that person, you have to drink.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard that
I
one.
don't
We
think I
forgot
have.
about it halfway through the game. I'm like, oh, ace is supposed to be snake eyes. So you draw the ace, now nobody can look at you. So you're just like looking at everybody, trying to get them to. Oh man, but that was fun. I think they enjoyed it, and I was like, man, I mean, these folks, they were all about their drugs. They were talking about like we played Never Have I Ever, and they were like, never have I ever put MDMA up my ass, and like they all put a finger down.
No, that's not fair. I think there was only like 2, maybe 3 people that were really into it out of like 7
Into
people.
MDMA in their ass? That's a high percentage.
Never have I ever put heroin into my eyeball.
I don't think it was
Oh.
a specific drug. It was like something up my ass.
All right,
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Fair Police over here. Some of the other questions were like, never have I ever, or not questions, but never have I ever been to the orgy dome. couple fingers or one finger went down there.
I bet you have a lot of fingers went down there.
Never have I ever had a foursome or a fivesome. A couple fingers went down. I'm like, geez, these people are all way cooler than me.
Sorry, what's the Orgy Dome? Is that a place
Yeah, back up.
at Burning Man?
Well, let's revisit Andrew Santos's pod. No, I think he was the first one to explain the orgy dome. It's a dome at Burning Man where you go and have consensual orgies.
Okay, I can imagine.
But I think
Dave's like, I'm in.
There's a
Nothing
lo-
so far.
there's a lot of sex stuff at Burning Man, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all like behind closed doors and whatever. It's also very like it's like regulated. Like if you're a piece of shit or whatever, I think you get sussed out pretty quick and you get kicked out of there and you get banned. Like it's they, you know,
I've lost
there's
interest.
authority.
I'd do anything to bone her.
Like I think one understanding is that if you want to go into the orgy dome, you don't just go in there. You're like, oh man, let's find a person to hook up with. You have to come with a person.
Well,
So
that's kind of the whole point.
you have to come up with a couple people. You have to arrive.
Right.
Well, that's the same. That's the same joke. You have to show up to the door with a person.
Back door?
I told yeah. I'm just gonna.
You
stop
can almost
trying.
say anything and turn it into a sex joke.
So that's the orgy dome. We also showed up to Midnight Poutine. That was the thing I missed last year.
I thought you were going to say Midnight Poo. Poo team.
No, oops, sorry. We showed up to Midnight Poutine, which we missed last year. Brooke went there, and you know, I had to hear all year about it. Oh my god, that poutine was amazing, just what I needed. It was hot and fresh and melty in my mouth. Like, shut up.
But she was talking about the Orgy Dome.
Yeah, she's like, and the poutine was not bad either. So we showed up to the Midnight Poutine. We were tired. That might have been after the flamethrower thing. We were
think it was
exhausted.
before.
Was it before?
Yeah.
Dude, this line was legitimately 2-3 hours long.
Oh my God.
It was insane.
For poutine?
Well, you get one poutine. You get one poutine.
Nice.
Take that, Dave.
Yeah.
Suck it. And no, it was literally just for poutine. But you show up and it's not just like there's like a food truck. It's like there's a DJ, a stage. There's like a winding, meandering, if you will, line. It's just like it's a big party. But man, it was a long line. And we get to the back of the line and like this guy shows up. He must have been with the poutine camp, but he's like, "You guys the back of the line?" We're like, "Yep." He's like, "Oh, this is." I don't know what it is. McLennan 12-year
Whiskey.
or it's a 12-year scotch, and it's in like a banana-shaped flask. And without thinking, I go, okay, sounds good to me. And I took a swig from the stranger's banana flask.
talking.
And from then on, I don't remember much.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No,
Good
no.
stuff.
No, I know. No, I was like barely. I was buzzed. We never really like went crazy at Burning Man. We kept it pretty mellow, hydrated. You know.
Smart. It would be a
Responsible.
terrible place to be super hungover.
Yeah, that would not be fun. Not be fun at all. Yeah, no, we were pretty well behaved, just trying to just explore. That was our intention, just to see as much art as possible this year. But I think every year that's probably like people's goal is like, I got to see everything, I got to see it all, and it's just fucking impossible.
How many Centurions would you say you did?
0 Centurions.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sounds like a failed trip then.
I did drink a lot of Coronas though. Yeah, but another highlight. We went and we joined the camp that we had joined last year. We went and watched the sunrise with them, which is like magical. It's fucking amazing. Got a guy playing the sitar on the boat. Like just really, really cool spiritual feeling. I mean, when you're out there, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a freaking Burning Man kook, but you are on another level, man. Especially if you go and visit the temple. Yeah, we went and visited the temple. You're like crying immediately. You're thinking about all your loved ones, your not so loved ones, and you're
Dave.
I'm rescinding my RSVP.
Don't play Mr. Brightside.
You're just thinking about all the people in your life, and you're just like, it's just how time is fleeting, and how you and everybody you know and all the things you know and love are going to be gone, and it's just fucking sad. And you go out and you're thinking about everything with a different filter, and it's like, you are on a bit of a different frequency out there. And it's like, I'm sure of course there's different places. You don't have to go to Burning Man to experience that. But when you are out there, you're like, damn, like, you know, I feel connected to a higher level of thought or whatever, consciousness or something. You're just thinking a little deeper out there, regardless of the drugs and the alcohol and all that shit. It doesn't have to be. Burning Man is just whatever you want to make of it. If you want to be high and fucked up or whatever, go do that. If you want to experience the art and just see cool shit and engineering and mechanical shit, go do that. If you want to improve your social life and go out and stick yourself out on a limb and have uncomfortable conversations and do things that are weird and kooky, go do that. If you want to show up with your family and bring your baby, bring your 3-year-old, a lot of people are doing that, man. We saw so many families out there this year. And honestly, pretty cool, pretty inspiring. Like some families out there that are just like fully kitted up. Their bikes are dialed. They're doing it better than every other person. Like they probably have like crazy RVs and set up too. Probably pretty wealthy.
Yes,
these people.
Seems privileged.
Maybe, but again, it's whatever you want to make of it. You know, you could judge people, whatever, but it's like the saying out there is "fuck your burn." Like, fuck the way that you're doing things. Don't tell me how to do my thing. Fuck your version of it. Like everybody's just doing their own thing, and that's the beautiful part of it. And it really is like the city that comes together, and it's like you're supposed to rely on each other, but at the same time, you practice self-reliance. Yet, if something does go wrong, you need something, you go up to your neighbor and you reach out a hand for whatever you need. It's a balance of like. I think a lot of people are actually bitter about, like, what do they call them? Like floaters out there. People who intentionally don't come with enough food or drinks or booze or anything. We actually made friends with one of these types of people.
Yeah.
We're at our camp and we're at our tent. Oh, I don't know. What were we doing? Oh, I was like sleeping.
You were like struggling from the heat.
I was like, yeah, it was like, high noon. It was like 2 p.m. The sun's at its highest point. It's like, I'm dying. I'm in a puddle of sweat. Just trying to like catch some Z's, and then I hear like, "Hey guys, what's going on? What's happening?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" I open my eyes. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, hey, yeah, sorry guys, I was in the teepee there. I looked into there's like a teepee like maybe like 30 feet behind us. He's like, yeah, I looked at the teepee and there was nobody in there, so I just took a little siesta in there, and now I'm just like, I'm like high on mushrooms, and I'm just wanted to meet some people. I don't know, so I have no gauge because I'm high on mushrooms. I have no gauge of whether this is like I'm pushing a boundary or not. I'm sorry, and I'm like, it's fine. I just motioned to him with like one eye open. I'm like, sit, it's fine. let's converse, my friend. So. First of all, I'm like, wait, the teepee? Wait, is this just like a communal teepee? Because we thought, what the hell? Who came with a teepee? That's insane. But it turns out it was just like a Burning Man thing. Like it's just the city. They just set up a teepee for anybody. I'm like, what? We could have just
like a refuge spot.
Yeah. So in the day, we actually could have used the teepee for a slightly cooler sleep condition. Little did we know. But then people caught on and they were just using it as like their camp. So this guy that we met, German tourist, he had like no shoes, no socks. He had nothing on him. He super friendly guy though. Like we got along, and also if he didn't tell us he was on mushrooms, we would have had no clue.
Yeah.
I would have had no clue. There was nothing like, he wasn't like a crazy guy or anything. He was super friendly. No red flags, okay? Settle down.
I mean, the no shoes and
Well, we don't even think that's not unusual when you're out there. There's a lot of naked people too. Like seeing no shoes is fine. Like I'm wearing no shoes sometimes, but he like escaped his camp. He didn't like the people at his camp, I guess. He said it was like old crusty men and he just wanted to be on his own way. So he found a journal somewhere on the floor and he returned it to its rightful owner. And in return, that person gave him a bag full of mushrooms. So he was just eating from this mushroom bag the whole time. He chilled with us and we like gave him like food and drink and made sure he was all good and whatnot. And then that kind of like, I wonder if he's listening out there, Freddie from Germany. But then
Did he know this exists?
I don't know. I told him
didn't tell him any
IFHC
names.
Films and Mulholland, my dude, verbally. I never gave him a card or anything.
There's no way he remembers.
He lost his ID on day one. I don't even think he had a phone or anything.
these are all red flags.
He had no bicycle. He was using there's communal bicycles out there. Like they're just like green bikes that you can just take. Well, you can't take them home, but you can ride them around anywhere. There's a name for this. I can't remember what they call these people, like floaters or something.
Floaters.
It's not floaters.
Mooches.
This is Big Brother.
Yeah.
But
so was it like feeding the wildlife where like once you fed him once, he kept coming back?
Yeah, he's like a chipmunk.
he was feeding off us, for sure. It was exactly that. So then the next day, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come back again. I'm gonna come back same time tonight." I'm like, "Oh Jesus Christ, fuck now!" And then I gave him a beer, and then later he was like, "You got one more beer? You got another beer in there?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, "Well, whatever. This is the spirit of Burning Man, right?"
I thought it was trading.
Well, he was trading us good times and vibes. Okay. So then we ended up going into town with him to the Playa where all the like concerts are. We're like, "What do you want to do?" And we're like, I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm not really the kind of guy who wants to like." People say like, "Oh, what's the music out there? Like what artists are you gonna go see?" I'm like, I have no clue. I'm not going for the music at all. I just go for the cool shit and like the interesting events and interactions you have. Like I'm just there to live life. I'm not there for standing in a crowd, like waving my hands or like bobbing for, 90 minutes. Like exactly. Like that's not really my thing.
You need the drugs.
And I tell him that and he's like, yeah, me neither. And then, a beer later, he's like, guys, I want to dance. Let's go out. So we go out there immediately. He's like, I want to go to that one. We go to like the craziest lasers. And when you're looking at dude, it's so surreal. This is like the one thing that like you can't communicate that you got to go experience at nighttime or dusk to look at all these crazy art cars that are like insane feats of engineering. You see these lasers shooting every which direction and some just look like they're going into the universe forever. It's like mind blowing, these lasers. But we're just looking out like, where's it look like there's like a crazy party? You walk up to it and at night it's so hard to gauge distance. In the day, you like, living room that I said, like,
Oh, the 80s.
yeah. Like you see that and you're like, okay, that'll take us like 10 minutes to ride to. At night, you're like, oh my God, it's gonna take 45 minutes. And it's like, it's crazy trip out there. But anyways, we look for the lasers. We're like, this one sucks. We got to ditch this. Then we see like I said, the biggest fucking laser of all time shooting straight up to the sky. It's the Mayan Warrior. This is like probably the most famous art car that burned down, I think, a couple years ago. Now it's like Galactica or something like that, but it's the same people, Mayan Warrior. And it was Rufus Du Sol playing.
Oh, sick.
And I hear a song that I recognize. If you want it, if you feel it,
Is Rufus Du Sol a DJ?
yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Three
super famous.
Three dudes.
Yeah, sorry. Group.
Australian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grammy winner, I think.
Never heard that name in my life.
Good music.
What?
Good music.
Rufus is huge.
Rufus Du Sol. They actually had to change their name from Rufus because another American artist, Rufus, was like, that's my name. So they're like, all right, we'll add Du Sol, bro. Jeez. Anyways, Rufus Du Sol is playing. We're like, holy crap, what the hell? I know this song. And it was just like, it was dude, it's so mental because like, okay, it just starts off as nothing, just desert. And then all of a sudden, like, art car rolls up, puts on the lasers, starts playing a tune. Some people show up, and then like in no time, it's like this mini city has evolved. It's like there's like parking lots for bikes. Like, you know, you got guy with like a bike with a built-in campfire making cocktails for people. You have like another guy with his bike. Like there's services and stuff. Like it's like almost like food trucks, but you don't know what each one's serving or doing or offering. But it's just like, it's like seeing ants, you know, like if you could like zoom out and you're like seeing ants like form their tunnels and their little mini cities and stuff.
Or it's like when you just like drop an apple on the ground and then all of a sudden they all come toward like, you know, and then they build around the thing that gets dropped there.
And you see like the little mini like systematic whatever.
All the organization.
It's amazing. And so anyways, we roll up with our friend Freddie and we're like, yeah, let's go check this out for sure. I'm riding through. I'm trying to, it's kind of sometimes hard to see which side of these art cars is like the front and where the DJ is going to be. So I'm like, let's keep going. Let's try to get to the front. And there's so many people, dude. Like you can go and look up on Mind Warrior YouTube. You can see this set. It's really good. I ride. I look back. Oh God, Brooke is not there. Freddie's not there. Immediate panic. Brooke didn't even know that I had this moment until like a couple days ago. But I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, we didn't come up with, like, a meeting spot in case we break up somewhere. We didn't have, like, you know, there's no phones out there. You can't communicate. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Brooke's out there with Freddie somewhere. Oh, shit. I find her in, like, a minute. It was all good. And then we go and watch the show a little bit. And then we you know, like what's it called? Poi?
Yeah.
The fire dancing?
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I know fire dancing.
Yeah, like, you get the wire, fireballs in the end. And yeah. So
I see.
You see thousands of these people out there. A lot of talent, that's for sure. But then this one guy stole the show. He had like an electric version.
Oh, sick.
That was like, you know those pixel sticks? Pixel sticks are like this, like a straight stick of LED lights that you do long exposure photography with, and you wave the stick and then you make a picture. This guy basically has like pixel stick versions of the fire dancing, and Brooke and I are instantly just like mesmerized by this dude. He was so good, and he was just like, I wish I could like do it for you guys how he was dancing. We were just like zoned in watching this guy. He was just like so talented, and man, I felt bad for the poi dancer because there was like 3 of them. And then all of a sudden, everybody's just watching this one guy with like the electronic version.
It's like the acoustic dancers are dying out.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the E-dancer.
But the fire dancers, they got their resurgence and they got their big
Tesla
moment. The big burn night, right? I mean, this is like probably the biggest mind-blowing moment for me of the whole trip. The actual burn. I mean, it's so the man, it's lit up, and then like at some point the arms motorized goes up really slowly, and then people know, oh, the burn's like coming. And like I said, people park their art cars around, and it's like, this is a huge radius, right? So the small art cars park, make a circle, and then the big art cars are behind so people can see. And then within all of that, there's people sat down in a ring, and it's like thousands, tens of thousands of people. And just looking out, and it's just a sea of people. And like, I've never been in something where there's like that many people in such a like unifying shape or something, or uniform shape, right? Like maybe like we have fireworks in Vancouver, right? The celebration of lights.
That's not. Oh no, maybe that would be that many people.
It's a lot of people. It's like hundreds of thousands.
Tons
Oh
of
really?
people.
But it's kind of like chaos, right? People are just like every which little nook and cranny they can get into. It's not like this like perfect ring, right?
right.
So that's really cool. But the show, it begins with like, oh, is this an actual photo from it?
Doesn't look like this last year, but
Oh yeah.
but similar vibe.
Anyways, like it starts off with like, I don't know, hundreds of fire dancers all dancing for 30 minutes maybe in unison, like all choreographed. It's like so impressive and like just pretty like mind-blowing at first. And then a little bit, you're like 25 minutes in and you're like, all right, I've had enough of the fire dancing. Come on, let's get past
Keep
this.
it going.
Jesus. And then they like all join their fire together, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger to the one guy who's got like the big fire. And then I think like it's kind of hard to see because you're sitting and you're like looking past these people, trying not to block anybody behind you. And then they go and they light the man, And then it's just like the most insane fireworks show up close I've ever seen. And not only are the fireworks just so impressive, there's like these plumes of like gas or like fireballs that happen. And it's like a massive fireball that's green, and then another one, a blue fireball. And it just was like, what the hell am I seeing? I've never seen this before. It's so fucking insane. And then when they go to, and it's just fireworks and the man's still standing. And then when it actually burns, it begins with a huge mushroom cloud. And then the man's burning and it's just fully engulfed in flames. And then maybe like 10 minutes later, it falls down. Everybody's cheering, going crazy. And then everybody kind of like disperses. And after everybody's like standing up and walking away, dude, there's like a fireball storm, like sparks falling from the sky. You just look up, you're like you have a moment of like, wow, this is beautiful, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. Oh shit, wait, I might like burn an eyeball out right now. Like I might get fucked up. And you just see fire falling towards you. So everybody starts to like slowly, it's like one person's like, I gotta get out of here. Then the next person's like, that person ran, I'm running too. And you start to see everybody kind of slowly follow suit. But everybody's playing it cool at first, right? Probably a little too cool. And so Brooke and I are just standing around, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this short, bald dude just like standing around, just like not doing anything, just looking around from the sky. Big chunk of coal or ember or something bounces off his head, like so big. This must have been like this big. It blows apart into like 100 pieces. I think I'm the only one who saw it, and he's looking around like, oh, what? He's looking around to see if anybody's like, yo, did you see that?
Burnt all your hair off.
I'm just imagining Danny DeVito this whole time.
And I'm like, 20 feet away, like he doesn't see me. And I'm like, I gotta go talk to that guy. So I go up to him. I'm like, yo, that was crazy. I just saw that. He's like, I know. What the hell? I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm totally fine. I'm like, yo, you gotta go buy a lottery ticket or something. Like that was amazing. And then probably happened 500 other times because there was a lot of sparks.
So wait, is this what? Is it debris from the man burning?
Yeah, it's just ashes, but like big chunks. Yeah. And it's just falling everywhere on everybody. But yeah, then it smolders, and then people, I don't know, everybody's got their own kind of tradition. Whether it's the man burn or the temple burn, people go and some people go and dance in the fire.
In the fire.
Very dangerous, yes.
Why?
Some people walk over it like it's hot coals. Some people get naked. Some people bake potatoes. Brooke and I had some potatoes. We never followed through. We were going to bake them over the temple. Some people are making marshmallows. Some people walk in unison around as like a tradition, like a ceremonial kind of walk to be like grateful and thankful. It's really whatever. Some people just get warmth. Backing up a little bit, when we're sitting in the crowd, where this is before the show starts, there's a guy beside us, and who did I say he looked like? Oh, he looked like Eric Andre, who lost his job. He looked like homeless Eric Andre.
Eric on welfare.
And he was smoking this thing that looked like, it just looked like a weed pen or something. Like it was like a long pen. It had like the yellow, I don't know what you'd call it, concentrate or something in there. And he was smoking it. I was looking over, and the cloud came past us, and we're like, what the fuck was that? That is not weed. What the hell? It smells like chemicals or something. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, what is that? Is that weed? He's like, DMT. I'm like, what? So yeah, man, you should try it. He hands it out to me. I'm like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, you should try it. I'm like, I can't. He's like, oh man. He starts like trying to talk me into it. He's like saying like, oh, I don't even know. I can't even remember what he was saying, but I was like, I can't. No, thank you. His like whole group of friends are around him. There's someone in front. He's just laid down. And he's got his eyes closed. And I'm like, oh man, hopefully he's like, okay. Like I didn't even realize, and it clued in. Oh, he probably smoked the pen. 15 minutes later, he gets back up. He's like, nods to the guy. He's like, takes the pen, takes another hit, just lays down for 15 minutes. And this guy was just passing the pen around to all his friends. They all look like normal people, whatever. They don't look like burnouts or anything. Just normal people, okay? Normies.
Just doing DMT.
And then there was this girl. She's like, can you hand me the pen? Or no. She says, She's a code word. She's like, she calls it drink. She's like, hey, can I get some drink? She takes the pen. She's takes a little sip of the drink, hands it back. She's like, oh, that was the perfect amount of drink. Thank you so much.
At what point did you wake up?
I don't know. I think I'm still asleep. Yeah. Anyways, and then I think Brooke was asking like, oh, what's it like? And he's just like, I don't know. You see, like, he was talking so quiet. I couldn't hear anything, but he's like, you see patterns you never seen before. And you have a better explanation of what he said, Brooke?
He said, like, you see visuals and you see them regardless of if your eyes are closed or open. I thought that was interesting.
So DMT is like the like supposed substance that's in every living thing, and it's found in plants. It's like a natural compound
It's found naturally in your brain.
and it's released when you die. So people think it has some sort of connection or something to explain the afterlife and something deeper than just a high. It's like it's a gateway to a higher power or something like that. But it's weird because they were all pretty sure they were all smoking this DMT, but they all looked like coherent and fine. Like my impression of it was that you smoke it, you're like gone for 15 minutes. Some people are like screaming, like throwing up, crying, whatever. But they were just like casually smoking it. So I'm like, where do you get that? And he's like, oh, it's found in a plant and da-da-da. I'm like, no, like literally, where'd you buy that? He's like, oh, I got a guy. I'm like, okay. But man, the smell, holy shit, I never smelled anything like that. I was like, what the fuck? Reminds me of the one time that we were walking by a mall in town here in Vancouver. And Brooke, you thought you smelled like someone's like meth or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It probably wasn't, but I saw him smoking out of a
Crack pipe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
Look-
crack.
Yeah. And I don't know, just the smell of it was like, I'd never smelled that before. So like mystical.
Yeah, she
Poison-
she can't stop
poisonous.
talking.
Mystical.
She can't stop talking about it every day.
Okay,
That
but
smell.
like it kind of smelled like a sweet vape, but
Sweet
it was
vape.
like out of a crack pipe. So I'm like, what is that? You don't smoke vape from a pipe.
Sweet. Oh, geez. Well, the smell that I smell, I can't even remember now at this point. I was just like, oh my God, smells like someone's making battery acid or something. Like,
It's natural.
look at insane. But I didn't know, like, my impression of like DMT was like, you got to lick a toad or you got to go to like some shaman in the Amazon rainforest or, I didn't think it was just like a pen.
There's probably different forms of it.
Pretty accessible now.
Cool.
Jason's probably bummed that I never did it.
That's fine. Anyone can do anything.
Would you have done it?
Probably.
I definitely would
I
have
don't
said
know.
no.
That's such an easy thing to say, though.
Wow. Oh, I'm such a good boy. I was like, I can't do this now. There's like 10,000 people around. What if I throw up on myself and get naked and start screaming?
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, this guy's awesome. This
Yeah.
guy's life of the party. What else? The sunrise that we went out to with the Serpent Queen and they were playing the sitar. They were making pizza out in the middle of nowhere, like hand thrown pizza, amazing. And then we weren't allowed to have any because we weren't part of the camp. So we're like, okay, that's fine. But they had like mochi cornbread that they were making in their little kitchen and sausage and stuff. So they were feeding us, which is awesome. It's like 6 a.m. in the middle of fucking nowhere and you're getting fed like amazing food. It's great. Like those moments are what's awesome. It seems like whatever, who cares? I can eat sausage and pizza at home. But then when you're in that moment and you have nothing on you but your own clothes and a bike and someone's handing you food, you're like, this is fucking amazing. And then we ride like 5 minutes away and then there's a full size pizza oven with another art car and it's a full operation. They're making hundreds of pizzas and you have people once again with like the megaphone and we're like in the full desert now. Hey, we got pizza. Come eat pizza. Cause like, I guess in their mind, they're like, man, we bought all this fucking pizza material. People better eat it or else we
Yeah.
have to throw it out. So they want people in there. Oh my God.
It was so good.
It was so fucking good. Like just the circumstances of having a pizza way out there,
Oh, yeah.
like pretty dope.
They were like, take as much as you want. We made way too much. It was so good.
And it's just so cool that like people are out there, like go through all the effort just to give pizza. Just to give pizza.
Give pizza a chance.
And when we were out there, Brooke saw some man sunning his butthole.
Oh, that's the thing.
Butthole stunning.
Yeah. No, it's a real thing.
No, I know it is.
Yeah, we know you do it every day, JJ, in the morning. We know it's your ritual.
Guys, come
6 a.m. You spread wide.
on. Yeah.
Tell us about this.
Well, no, you guys know Chad and JT. The,
Go
like-
deep.
Yeah, that show popularized it on Netflix because they did a prank where they started a class in LA and they started inviting people out to do it, and then that I think popularized it more to the mainstream. But they were building off a guy online who was like telling the world that this is like the best thing ever, and so they just took it and pranked.
Do you know why it's a thing?
Isn't it supposed to give the direct access to your like body from the sunlight and take the energy?
Yeah, it's like the most direct way to get vitamin C straight
Yeah.
into the butthole, just like
Not
the
C.
MDMA from earlier.
Vitamin D.
Oh, yeah, sorry, vitamin D. My bad. Vitamin B hole.
I'm always trying to get that D in my butthole.
God, I've said a lot of dumb things this pod. What's this note? Girl with a crying baby mask.
Think
What is
about
that?
it.
Girl with a
At
crying
the
baby
misting
mask?
booth.
Oh, wait, what? Girl with a crying baby mask?
Was there a girl with a crying baby mask?
I
At the
still-
misting booth?
I have a story from the misting booth, but I don't know what the hell this is.
She was topless.
Oh, okay, I got it. I got it.
Go
I got it.
You buried the lead.
I got
Interest is peaked.
So yeah, okay. Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like day 4. Brooks like has one thread. She's hanging on to dear life. She's about to overheat, heat stroke. She's about to hit the button and tap out, get the helicopter ride out of Burning Man.
Oh wow, Jesus.
I'm just kidding. We don't actually have a walkie-talkie.
No, but I mean the heli thing is gnarly.
We don't that. I'm exaggerating.
Okay.
Folks. Okay, but she's tired and she's exhausted. She's like, we got to go to a misting place, and there's like all these different camps that like have like extravagant misting.
Sorry. Finger slipped.
What did I do? He had to take the heat off himself.
It's dead silent.
The heat off Brooke. Yeah, these like extravagant like misting stations where you like go in, there's like 17 arms and they're all misting you, just standing there for 5 seconds. And you're like, oh, and then you get reset for a little. But there was a mojito and misting bar, I guess. It's just a place that's dedicated to like all they make is mojitos. And it's like really nice. Like they're doing like reverse osmosis filtration and like it's a full fucking setup with like proper plumbing and everything. It's not just like a dude with like a bottle and like it's very pro. And yeah, full like industrial fans and misters. Like, I don't even know how they bring that much water in or how they do that. But anyways, we go to the misting and I'm facing Brooke and I'm just enjoying the mist. And she's like, look behind you, look behind you, look behind you. And there's a girl with her tits out, and I thought you were gonna show me a photo of this.
Yeah,
and
damn.
Very
she's
disappointing.
she's letting a group of 3 dudes motorboat her one person at a time, and she's just giving it to them. And you know, I
So
don't
when
know.
do tickets go on sale for this event?
Yeah.
Brooke just can't stop looking. She's like, yeah, right? Am I?
Yeah.
Absolutely feeding off each other.
I was looking.
Yeah.
Did you get in there?
Yeah. A little bit. No, I didn't.
And then I look back 2 seconds later, and then she's like bent over doggy, and he's dry humping her. I'm like, but it's all in good fun, right? It's not gross.
You're like, wait a
I
second,
actually
this
was
isn't a
gross.
misting booth. This is the orgy dome.
And then okay, so we spent some time just dancing and getting mojitos. Mojitos were so good, man, so amazing. And then we're sitting on a bench because Brooke's like, all right, I just need to sit. We're sitting, just watching life, just people watching. Super fun out there to do. And Brooke's like, psst, look, there's like a couple, a man and wife, assuming man and husband, man and woman. And the woman is fully giving this dude a OTPHJ over the pants, Andy J, just fully just massaging. And it's like, I guess from their position, standing in line for a mojito in a line of like 10 people. I'm guessing that they were like, oh, we're so sneaky. No one can see this. But we're just like, look at this. It's like 10 feet in front of us. Like, and it's just ongoing. And then like every once in a while, he's like nibbling at her neck and biting her ear and shit. And she's just going at it. And it's just like, not like full like fap style, you know, just like a little tickle.
Nice.
Do you think they were
But-
being sneaky, or do you think it's just Burning
They-
Man and
they
people
just
are
don't
fucking
care.
freaks?
Yeah, I don't think they care.
No.
It's maybe a mix. They're being respectful, but didn't give a.
You're talking like broad daylight.
Well, I like to call them women, Dave. So, anyways, 2 people behind that. There's a mother holding her child up to the mister. And we're just like, what are we looking at? There's a kid getting misted and a woman giving her husband a hand job, and all in the same.
Oh, they're married. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I'm assuming a lot here. Oh, that was wild. I mean, and the whole kid thing, like the best PG version of it, like there is actually a lot for kids to do. There's like kids themed camps, so you can do like lots of like art stuff, like whatever art related thing you can think of. They have it there for kids, for adults. But also like great tours, like there's an ice cream camp and they do like a tour. You can do tour bike rides and stuff. Like you can bring a kid and avoid a lot of the fucked up stuff. You can avoid the probably like sex tents and stuff like that, because I think it's all kind of like in one zone,
Right.
probably.
Sex zone.
Like you can do a version of Burning Man that's very harmful to a kid, and you can be an absolute deadbeat, or you can do like a pretty casual version that's fun. And like I bet the kids that do go to Burning Man, they like love it, and they're probably going to be pretty creative and like free thinkers when they're older. Yeah.
Like drug addicts and degenerates.
Yeah. DMT up the butthole.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this thing up, but we got a few more notes here. What's worth talking about here? You got anything on the list, Brooke?
I think the last thing should be the Be Our Guest performance.
Once we're done, I'm gonna be sad because I know there's gonna be something that we missed, but that's okay. This was probably one of my favorite moments, and besides like just the Burning Man, my favorite just people moment. This was after the man burned, was it not?
Yeah, like right after.
Okay, so we go out for a ride into the Deep Playa. There's some. Let me first mention a couple of these art installations. There's like this like light tunnel thing that you go in. It's just like arches of metal and they light up and it goes for like, I don't know, 200 yards. I'm terrible with measurements, by the way. I'm throwing out feet all over the place. You ride for a long time through this thing and it feels like you're like traveling through time, like the way this is animated. And then there's another art installation that's a similar thing. It looks like, like a airplane landing strip where the lights flash in a row to point the pilot into the direction of the strip.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to that, it was, and I only noticed this like partway through the festival, there was lights that were flashing all along the perimeter, but also 2 lines that just went kind of diagonal. And what we learned, we were standing there beside these lights, and then like some woman was like, "Oh, I heard that's the speed of light that these lights are traveling at." And I hear that, and I yell, I'm like, "What? I don't believe it." Because I'm like, if it was traveling at the speed of light, you wouldn't see it. Like it would just be one flash and it would be over. And then her boyfriend or whatever is like, "What? Are you sure?" And then he's like riding away. And then like he figures it out. And then he like yells back to me as he's riding away. He's like, "It's the speed of the Earth's travel." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I believe it."
Okay.
So there's just this flashing light that's going tick, 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 tick. Does that make sense for the audio listeners?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Is that a good sound effect?
You went. Tick, tick, tick.
I think mine was better.
Yeah, you committed harder, but you had the experience. I was just trying to like approximate what you did.
And all it is just demonstrating the speed of the Earth traveling through space. And that's one of those moments where you're like, whoa, you start thinking beyond yourself and the Earth and whatever, and you're out there. But anyhow, so there's this one bench that Brooke and I just loved out there in the desert. It's like, it was in front of a cool little art installation. And a lot of these art installations are like mechanical and interactive. So you like, you press a button, it blows up in flames. You push a thing and like things start moving around. We're sitting in front of this bench with this glow in the dark contraption. And all it was like one backrest in the sand or the dust. That's all the chair was. It was like it was like a group of scientists had gotten together and decided what the perfect degree angle was for the perfect chair. And we're just sitting there like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like when you just need a rest and you're out there like dying of exhaustion. And we're sat in this chair. And then the whole trip, we just wanted to keep going back to this chair. So on the final night after the burn, we're like, let's go back to the chair and see if it's occupied. Was this even this? Am I even describing the right place, Brooke? This was, it was the chair, right?
Yeah, it was.
We go up there and we're like, there's already people there. And there was a golf cart, a dude in a golf cart. And he was just like he had his arms slung over the steering wheel. Like he was like waiting. And then there's another guy who's just standing there. He looks like he's just waiting. And there's a third guy who he's singing his heart out. And it looked to me like it was just so profound because we're slowly approaching this glowing art installation with a slight dust storm. And you just see like this guy singing his heart out after you've just seen the man burn. And it's like, what the hell is this? Is this a performance? Is this planned? Is this a guy going crazy? Is this a guy just like way too drunk or like fucked up on some drugs or whatever? But he's singing Be My Guest.
Be Our Guest.
Be Our Guest.
From Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's it. I was trying to think what that was from. Because I don't know it. The only version that I know is See My Vest from
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Mr. Burns.
And so I'm still captivated by this guy's performance. I'm like, this is amazing. And it's all silhouettes, right? Like you can't see the faces or anything. So it's kind of anonymous. And we're just watching as anonymous people, just me and Brooke. And we're just watching this guy pace back and forth. And it's not like amazing singing, but
What?
it
was great.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't.
He nailed it.
It was great, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this guy's like, fuck, this guy's got some pipes.
It
was just like he's putting his heart into it.
Do you think
That's
he
how
was
I
just
saw
a
it.
dude, or do you think he's like a guy that does musical theater?
I don't know.
No,
because
there's those people out there, you know.
he finishes Be Our Guest,
Uh-huh.
and then partway through, I said, See My Vest, trying to just joke around, and he doesn't hear, and I recognize how he doesn't hear. And then he finishes Be Our Guest, and he kind of walks up to us, but not to like talk. He's just pacing, and I say, See My Vest, and he goes, see my vest, and he sings the whole thing word for word, not a moment or beat missed, front to back. Nice. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like saying encore, bravo. I'm clapping. I'm like so excited. I like couldn't believe it. And I have a little video clip of him singing Be Our Guest, but not the See My Vest. Damn. But I rode away thinking like, who was that guy? Maybe he's like a fucking, like you said, maybe he's like a theater guy. Maybe he's like an artist that I know. Like maybe he's like a talented guy. Maybe he's a nobody. But that's the cool thing that like people are out there every day who are probably pretty famous, but they're like concealing their identity or they're hiding a little bit and you just never know. But yeah, someone singing See My Vest was my highlight of Burning Man.
It was nice because you were
makes
wearing
sense.
a vest.
I was wearing a vest.
And he saw it.
You saw it? Nice. Dude, I couldn't believe it. How can you remember? Like, it made me think like, oh my God, this guy might be like a savant if he like remembers I feel like I could have just shouted out any song.
To be
him.
fair, you said the parody version of the song he had just did, so the odds were pretty high that he would
but
also like that.
all the lyrics of a TV show from like 30 years
But
ago.
also that song's shorter than the other song.
But it's funny because like there's a lot of different people singing in that version from The Simpsons, and he nailed everything. At the end, he kind of fizzled out. He was like, all right, I'm running out of breath, and he just kind of like walked off. He was like, he had a mic drop moment, but it was just like it was one of those moments where I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to properly translate this in any version.
You'd be impressed by. Have you ever been to the dueling pianos?
Well, this is where I think maybe he came from. There's a piano bar at the Esplanade there, like in the busy part of town,
Right.
that I wanted to go to and we forgot. He might have been from.
Yeah, because those people know hundreds of songs.
Yeah, I mean, when that's your thing, you know a lot of songs. Yeah. Any questions? I mean, anything I didn't cover? Anything I didn't cover? I mean,
I don't know. We weren't there, so.
Well, I mean, like, Dave, I take it that you don't really give a shit about Burning Man. You're never going. You don't care.
I probably wouldn't go.
Jason, I feel like you're Burning Man curious,
I'm be curious.
but you're like, you'd have to get taken out with someone. You're not just gonna like go one day on your own.
Yeah, there's no mountain biking there. It'd be tough.
What about when you go to all those other music festivals that don't have mountain biking?
Yeah, I'm always like, I could be mountain biking right now. I haven't gone to other than like Austin last year. It's been over 10 years since I went to a music festival.
Wait, and you were being serious?
What?
You're like, oh, there's no mountain biking there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez. What about when you went to Spain?
Yeah, it's different. You get to see a
You
lot
know,
of the world.
there's places that you can mountain bike on the way to Burning Man, and you can
Yeah.
still ride a bike at Burning Man.
Yeah.
So,
It's too flat.
so
for
you
him.
won't go anywhere if there's no mountain biking?
I definitely now try and prioritize mountain biking into trips.
because you don't do it enough.
I mean, yeah, if you do something.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So, but Burning Man, if you're listening to this, if you want Jason Lucas to show up,
Put like
get
a
some
pump track. Yeah, I
I was
mountain
just gonna
biking.
say.
Put a pump track.
There
in
is a
there.
pump track.
Oh, sick. There is mountain biking then.
Yeah. Oh, also, we tried to meet up with Paul Bass again for the second year in a row. Didn't happen. Couldn't find him. I searched around his camp. Couldn't find him. Yep.
He's just smashing chicks. And
Maybe he's probably riding the pump track.
yeah, maybe.
Like, this is great mountain biking. Yeah. Why did I ask that again? So-
Oh, you asked if we had other questions.
Oh yeah.
Dave
I,
said he wasn't
I,
there.
I just, I guess I wonder about the like whole like stigma about it, because like I came back and I'm like, man, it's so fucking awesome. If you can experience that, like if you have an opportunity, you should go see it. And then like speaking to a friend, he was like, how was it? I was like, oh, it was amazing. Like it's really mind blowing. You should go if you have a chance. He's like, oh, interesting. Yeah. You know, it's like hard to get that vibe when you're just looking at like Instagram bullshit. So I wonder like, because I probably had the similar thought too. Then of course, once you go, you kind of break the
Stigma.
the stigma.
Negative illusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the hell did I used to think about this? You can't even remember almost.
I can 100% visualize it when you talk about it, and like I can understand the like moments of profundity and like
Whoa.
you know.
What the fuck?
Profundity.
Yeah.
Is it like survivalism or what?
No, it's
It really puts the fun in profundity.
yeah. It just doesn't seem like my thing.
I think you could show up to the whole thing without a tent or anything, and you could just survive off the fruits and veggie camp. They just serve like beautiful fruits and veggies all day. They even do bacon pancakes one day. So then you just
Dang.
take as much as you want. Yeah, I feel like there's like enough there that you can just survive. It's not encouraged though. People want you to
No.
be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
You should
like
be a part of the community.
I would feel
Yeah.
bad. I don't like relying on other people for anything.
Yeah. Even at like other music festivals and stuff, I hate being the guy that's like,
Ugh.
oh, could I have a beer? So I'm like,
I'd rather just not have a beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd rather not ask.
Yeah, but also like if it's offered to you,
That's different.
you want it. You will take it, right?
Yeah, if,
Yeah.
if it's like,
Yeah.
but if it's this sort of exchange system, as opposed to being like, "Hey man, do you mind?" You know,
Yeah.
like that whole thing. No, thank you.
Yep. Well, we did take a lot of photos. We took some video. Could make some sort of small video cut out of it. We'll see. I did the whole bike thing, how to prepare your bike.
This year,
No, last year.
right?
And then this year, kind of just mostly documented like us doing walking camping and our version of walking camping. But I don't know. We'll see.
Just like on your phone.
I took a GoPro. I took my Fuji. I took phone clips. Yeah, we came away with
That
Some
must
good
have
s-
been.
good
I
stuff.
was thinking about it as you were telling your stories. You must have had so much more time and flexibility without sort of that commitment of making that
Oh,
video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was.
You must have felt a lot more free this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing that I thought was we were going to be waking up at like 7 a.m. every day, just like hot and unable to sleep. But it was like the tent was cold and cool until like 11 a.m. Like we were asleep until like 10:30. Because we're up pretty late. So, yeah.
That's huge.
Yep. So walking camping, I think underrated at Burning Man. Easy way to do it. Pretty not as bad as people think. Yeah. But that means you got to drive there. Because you got to bring all your tent and shit and food, I guess. I mean, there's all different ways to go about it. I can't believe so many people rent RVs and vans and then just like
They just
potentially
park 'em?
fuck them up.
Oh.
No, they like,
Take
Oh,
it back.
they live out of them.
Oh, that's fine if it's a rental.
It's just like, oh man, the amount of RVs on the roads these days, it's infuriating.
A lot of RVs.
A lot of RVs. Well, anyways, that's Burning Man. Glad I could answer all your burning questions.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
I didn't ask for this. You guys wanted it. They're like, Matt, please, will you could do another Burning Man review?
At least 2 hours, please.
And I would really love if the first 50 minutes are on the drive there.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it was
50,
40.
50,
Oh, 50.
50.
Okay.
Now you're
People. Come on.
I heard 15.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good to hear about.
All right,
I
that's
think
it.
people are curious about it.
That's it. Talk no more. Thanks for listening. If you want to spend money in the real world and not in fake Burning Man world that doesn't operate on monetary currency,
Except
go
for
spend-
ice.
Yes, except for ice and coffee. You buy
No.
coffee at Burning Man? No, okay.
Not anymore.
Go spend your money at mahalomydude.com. Go please buy a sticker. Buy the Mahalo My Dude piss jug, aka the water bottle. You can pee in it. You can drink out of it. Do
It's a
whatever
wide
you want.
mouth. It's a wide mouth. They would like it.
I could probably just barely fit, probably.
Yeah. Go buy our D&T vape pens. Oh no, actually we
Oh,
sold
God.
out. Sold out. No.
Wait, did you shout out the promo code?
What's the promo code?
Feeding.
Feeding? You're telling me that when you check out on mahalomydude.com, you put in the items you want.
Correct.
You put in your email, you put in
Yep.
your shipping information, and then at the discount code field, you put feeding, and I gain a percentage off of my total cost. That's what you're telling me right now?
That's exactly right.
Oh, that makes sense.
This is the first time anyone's done this, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Groundbreaking. What the fuck? What the fuck happened? All right. I'm going to go cry.
Or what? You do your thing.
That was my thing.
What was your thing?
The merch.
Oh, he took your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, also leave us a speak pipe at speakpipe.com/feeding off each
We're
other.
gonna
Give us
listen
a
to
me-
him one day.
Give us a message. Oh yeah, we got some new ones. Got some exciting ones.
Nice.
Just leave it. It's really easy. You don't need to leave an email or anything.
If you have questions about Burning Man, they should leave them. Then Matt can answer.
It's
them.
true.
We can't really answer them.
No one
we can't.
cares. No one cares.
I
Now-
think
now-
people care.
Now do your thing, Jason.
You did it.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
your
but
thing.
do the thing that's remaining. Come on, improvise.
The thing that you mean.
Come
oh
on,
my
I only-
God, the podcast is
Holy
falling
shit.
apart.
What the fuck? We got to wrap this up. I normally say like and subscribe, Jason. Come
Yeah.
on. Come on.
Okay, I didn't know
Gotta
what you were
fly with it.
Okay. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.
And leave us a review.
Hey, where was the
It really
podcast
helps.
last week?
And-
No podcast. I wanted to listen to a solo pod
Oh,
with you boys.
We didn't know.
I think we were working.
That's correct. We were working.
Yes.
I think we're
And
working right now.
As always.
I can't believe that just fell off real time.
Thank you for listening to Feeding Off Each Other. Please subscribe for more great podcasts.